everyone. Welcome to Heroic Studios Gaming. It's me, Scott, Hero, the creator of this channel and the creator of this game that we're playing today. This is Maximum Apocalypse, the RPG, played by these people you see all around me. Today we're playing in a special edition of Maximum Apocalypse. This is called the Duchess of Mississippi. It's only the special edition because I've only run this adventure 2 times prior to this, mostly because it's kind of long. But this is the second time it's been recorded for the channel, and the first time I didn't really have my stuff together, so it didn't look anything like this that people are seeing right now. Anyway, so hello everyone. I'll have you guys introduce yourself. I showed you what you guys look like, but from my end it goes Skylar, Sin, Brother Imperius, then Shinobu, Dakota, and Sam. So we'll go in that order for introductions. So go ahead, tell us who you are.
I'm Stephen Lang. I'll be playing Skylar today, which is a firefighter. And pretty much he just wants to watch the world burn with this apocalypse. He has no use for it anymore. And that's all I got.
Very cool. Next is Sin.
You see probably what you would think be an older teen, probably in her late teens. She's very tiny, about 5'2". Her hair flows down and barely touches the collar of her jacket, and her shirt collar, dark brown. She's fairly keeps herself fairly pleasant looking as she can in this apocalypse, but she has her gear slung around her in a bag, and she usually stays pretty quiet though. And she doesn't say much to the others. If they need her to do something, she does it. She's a survivor. She knows how to survive and does what it takes to always survive herself. I am playing Sin, the thief.
Very cool. Then it's Brother Imperius.
Hello, Kevin. As Scott said, I'll be playing Brother Imperius. I will make a quick shout out to the Babies with Knives people who are the ones that lured this veteran tabletopper into the online gaming world a few months ago. Brother Imperius is the man of middle and beyond years. One of the traditions of tabletop games I run is we will cast ourselves in case that miniseries does get picked up. So if you want to picture Leo McKern, circa Ladyhawk, that's kind of how he looks.
Very cool. Now it is Shinobu.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dean. I'm playing Shinobu. Rather husky Ronin. Likes to get up close and personal and protects his food, having been in many fights for food. He's developed a knack for scaring people away without having to fight. So everybody knows when he speaks up, and that's good for now.
Cool, very cool. And Dakota. It's Dakota's introduction time. You're still muted. Did you know that?
There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all good.
My name's Kenya. I'll be playing Dakota. She's child age, probably around 11 or 12, and very, very quick and extremely intelligent. She has a particular hatred for robotics and that type of stuff, so she's very untrusting of anything that seems like it has any sort of advanced intelligence going on.
The machine enemies. Okay, finally is Sam.
Yeah, Sam is, first, my name is Dan. I'm happy to be playing with you guys. Appreciate it. He is a middle-aged, trigger-happy gambler, survivor of the peak oil collapse. And he is most comfortable when he has bullets in his gun. And when he is not comfortable. He has spent most of his life trusting in his iron, and he is quick to use it in most situations. And that's basically all I need to know about him. He's a survivor and a scavenger and a hunter, and he'd make a good member to any group wanting to survive this collapse of society.
Yep, very cool. All right. So, for those who can't remember, and for those at home who are trying to follow along, this game is a D100 percentile game. all of your character's skills, which on your character sheet, I don't know that I have any right in front of me, but on your character sheet, there should be a section where you've got like at the top where you've got all the base stats for the character: strength, fortitude, agility, etc. Right, all the way across the top. Those are gonna have a number. That's your threshold number for any related skills and or rolls that I have you make. If I have you make a strength roll, for example. But then below, there's a list of skills, and you'll have like a proficiency or not proficiency in it. When you go to make any roll in Maximum Apocalypse, you're going to roll D100. So you're going to roll a percentile die and as a tens die, and you roll a percentile die. So you get a tens die and you've got a ones die, and that's what you're going to roll to make any kind of roll, for the most part, except for damage rolls. But we'll get into that later when we come across them. If you ever need to roll advantage or disadvantage, you'll roll a third tens die, and then you will choose the better. If it's advantage, you'll choose the better of the tens die, so the lower number. And if it's disadvantage, you'll choose the worse or higher number of the tens dice. So that's how you make dice rolls. Any questions about that?
Nope.
Okay. So the reason I mentioned skills is because your skills, if you're proficient in them, then you just roll that percentile roll when you go to like make a skill roll. If you're not proficient, however, you have to roll with that additional die as disadvantage, and you will look for the higher of the numbers. If you have things, there'll be ways, and I'll talk about them as we get to them, but there'll be ways to give yourself advantage and disadvantage depending on situations. So if you choose, for example, to do a called shot, you're going to give yourself disadvantage. But if you decide to take aim, you give yourself advantage, and those would cancel each other out. So you could take aim and then called shot, and that would work just fine. So just something to note. But in this particular adventure, you guys have been traveling together for a while. You guys know each other. You're aware of each other. You've been working together. In fact, you have been in close quarters with each other for a bit of time. You have been traveling on the Mississippi Sea for approximately 1 month, and it's a sea because due to the seismic cataclysms, the river split the continent in half, and there's now a big sea between the east and west continents, and that's what they're called, the east and west continents of what used to be called something like the United States. You're not sure how they were united. It's been a while, but anyway, it's a big sea now, and you've been traveling on it in a boat together for 1 month. You've been avoiding killer robot drones, large sea creatures, and alien scouts this whole time. While the waterway has provided some food for you, it's been getting thinner and thinner, and you spent yesterday and the day before attempting to catch food but found nothing. So you have taken, all of you will mark on your character sheet, 2 days worth of hunger damage. Now, each of you, that number will be different for each of you. If your build number is between 0 and 50, like 0 and 49, you're small and you only have to eat 1 food unit per day. If you are 50 to 100, you're average size and you have to eat 2 food units per day. If you are above 100, you're between 100 and 150, you are big and you eat 3 food units per day, and so on. So if you're above 150, if you're between 150 and 200, you're even more and you need 4 food units, etc. And it goes like that. Bigger you are, the more food you eat. So, for example, if you were a average person, which I think most of you are, except for like Sam, I think, most of you are average sized or more. You'll have 2 for your food units. You have to take 2 days, so you have to take 4 hunger damage. 4 hunger damage, which on your character sheet, if you have it out, would be marked on, I believe, the backside. I'm going to pull up a character sheet on my computer so I know what I'm talking about.
Shinobu has the giant characteristic. He's very, very large and well built.
Mm-hmm.
He is 160 in build.
Okay, so then you, I think you're eating 4 food units per day, so you have to mark 8.
All 8 that he has on his sheet there.
For food damage?
He has 8 food on his sheet.
No. That's the food. That would be the food that he has as food in his inventory. So you can eat all of those and not take hunger damage.
Okay.
So that's the trade-off. If you wanted to, instead of taking the hunger damage, eat the food that you have on your character sheet, if you have some, because some of you don't, then you can eat that instead of taking the damage, and that's how that works.
Okay, so my build's 140, so I would take...
You'd eat 3 food units a day. So you would take 6 damage unless you had food to offset that.
And can you eat partial food units to offset it a little?
Yes, you can eat some food units to offset it a little. That's fine.
Okay.
That's just how the hunger damage and food relate directly that way. So food equals hunger damage if not eaten, right? Essentially.
So, what's the impact of hunger damage?
So right now, at this point, there's no major impact. You have to eat one half of your or you have to have a hunger damage of one half your fortitude to start having effects. So right now, I don't think any of you are at that point, because you've only taken a few food units.
Yeah.
It's basically 4 days of hunger damage before you start becoming affected by the hunger damage. But when you do, you would start having like disadvantaged rolls and stuff.
Can we not fish? Traveling over.
You can, and that's what I was saying. You have been fishing, but yesterday and the day before you didn't catch anything.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. So you have been fishing. So up till now you've been surviving off of fish that you've fished, but the last couple of days you haven't found anything. The fish you're either eating them up or something else is eating them up. It's the middle of the second day without food. Or third day without food, actually. Sorry, it's a typo. Looking around at your group, you are beginning to think that it might be a good idea to make landfall on the eastern landmass because you might be able to find some survivors or an area that hasn't been scavenged. That, or you could begin determining which of you would provide the most meat. Sounds like Shinobu might be the best option. Being so big after all, it's a lot of food units. Before you give this much thought, though, you hear a buzzing sound nearby, and your captain, there's an NPC with you, your captain shouts that there's something on the starboard side of the boat. And thus we begin. What do you guys want to do about that?
Skylar will go ahead and head up to the starboard side, looking to see what's off onto the distance of it.
Okay. Anyone else go into the starboard side to look off into the distance?
Did it sound like a disturbance in water?
Oh, yeah. There was some water disturbance for sure.
Okay. Then.
Shinobu definitely wants to be on that side of the boat to see what's going on.
Okay.
Have we seen sharks or anything like following us since now?
Sure, why not?
Sure. Okay, then yes. Thinking that's probably just more sharks. I go to look. Maybe I can shoot one.
Buzzing sharks. Okay.
I will keep an eye where my friends go, but all I know is this teach someone to fish thing is not all that useful.
Okay. All right. So Sin and Dakota are going to be doing something else as well, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, Sin is trying to find maybe somewhere to kind of stealth around and hide because she knows that this is not something she's going to handle anyway.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me bring up Zoom because it's sort of in the background. Kenya, you're I'm not sure if you're talking or not. You're still muted again. So I'm not sure.
Darn it all, sorry.
Okay. Oh, you said darn it all and then muted yourself.
Yeah, I have Kev the push to talk on, so I keep forgetting to.
Okay, that makes sense now. That makes sense.
Yeah. So, okay, Dakota's just gonna kind of really peer around and see if she can try to figure out exactly what is making the sounds and what's going on.
Okay, I will have the others do something, but for you, I want you to make an academic roll. Academics, if you can. That should be under your intelligence, and if you're not proficient in it, then you would just roll with disadvantage. Oh, no, sorry. Actually, no. In this case, you're going to roll with advantage.
Okay. So, 0, and 4. I forget.
That's 4.
Is that good?
That's really
right?
good. That's really good.
4.
Okay. I'll come back to you. All right. So
Okay.
the three of you that are on the starboard side of the boat, you are going to make perception rolls to see if you can see stuff in the water or off on the horizon. That's going to be under your intuition or your instinct. I'll pull up a character sheet. There we go.
But I'm proficient in it.
Yeah. So if you're proficient, then you just roll a normal roll. If you're not, then you roll with disadvantage. And if you're skilled, you get extra numbers, etc.
No. Okay.
Shinobu rolled 47, which is 7 points over his score of 40.
Okay. So he sees water.
I made under it. I rolled a 41, under 50.
Cool.
And Imperius rolled a 35. Actually, he's under his 35. Rolled a 33 out of his 70.
Okay.
26. Where do I find my perception?
Okay, so the perception is a skill. It's there's no number related to it. It's directly linked to the instinct number above. So if you look at your instinct number, that's the threshold you have to roll below.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm good. And the two numbers underneath. Sorry, I'm coming to this game
right.
as the
Sorry.
guy that shows up at the con for the kind of game.
Right.
Is that like
so that's
way
actually
better and then like it super better?
Yes. So that's actually a good point that I probably should have clarified for everybody. But yeah, so the numbers below, there's a half number and a quarter number. The way that it works is when you roll below the big number, the threshold number, then you get a success. If you get below half, it's a greater success. It's a great success. And if you're going to, which means more stuff happens or different things happen. And if you get to below the quarter number, which is an amazing success, then even better things happen. And then finally, if your roll is 001, that's a critical success. Versus
Awesome.
000,
So like
which is a
Cthulhu.
critical failure. Yeah, very much similar. If you played Call of Cthulhu, it's a very similar system there. But this, it definitely matters too when you come to things like when you're scavenging. The higher you, or the better the degree of success, the more stuff you find. Or if it's an opposed roll, the higher degree of success, the better off you were, etc. So you rolled how did you roll just a regular success?
So yeah, 26. So success, but not just above
quite,
that.
Yeah, quite a good success. Got it. Okay. So everyone who got a success, you see the water, the water off the boat is being displaced by something. Something is moving through the water toward the boat relatively rapidly. Those of you that didn't see anything, you just see water and sky. Dakota,
Yes.
you hear the buzzing and immediately recognize this as a machine sound. This is a motorized sound under the water, which immediately triggers to you that there's probably some kind of submersible drone that's headed toward you or around you somewhere. You're not sure if it's seen you yet. You just know that it's there for sure.
Oh, there's always drones. There's always drones. There's always drones. Guys, we've got something coming.
All right.
Is our boat equipped with any armament?
Is it equipped with, machine guns and stuff? No.
Or no? Okay.
No. Best case scenario is there's a harpoon gun, a sort of rickety harpoon gun with a rope on the end. That's what you got.
I'm going to indicate the direction that it's coming from for the group and start
I
pointing at it.
I assume our chances of outrunning this thing are limited.
Yeah, your boat kind of chugs in the water. It doesn't like speed. Yeah. It's made of random scrap parts from other boats. In fact, you're not even sure how it's floating.
All right. Well, we know where it is, and we said we see someplace we can make landfall.
Yeah, there is some landfall to the east. There's the east continent. It's not very far from where you are. You might be able to try to make landfall before it gets to you. If you wanted to try that, we'd have some driving rolls that would have to happen.
What say you all? Do we do that and hope Providence delivers us and be ready for trouble if it doesn't?
Yes, hammer it, brother. Let's make it to landfall quickly.
See no other option.
Do any of you possess a drone command unit? I don't think any of you do. None of you are mechanics and stuff. Okay.
Mechanics my secondary, but I do not possess a drone command unit.
Yeah.
I do have mechanics, but yeah.
But also
I
not a
think so.
drone. Yeah, the drone command unit would allow you to try to hack a drone when it gets close to you. But none of you have one. All right, so you're going to make landfall?
Do our best.
Okay. So, do you guys want to rely on the NPC captain, or do one of you want to take over and try to drive the boat?
What is a driving skill? Is there actually driving?
Yeah, it's called drive.
Yeah. I've got a decent instinct, but I am unskilled, so I'd be rolling at disadvantage.
Yeah, no.
Shinobu has no skill in drive either.
I mean, I'm proficient in it, so how do I know which ability it relates to?
So, if on the character sheet, if you look at the skills, they're all listed under their particular stat that they're related to. So the strength, right? You'll have strength, and under that you'll have athletics, right? Agility, under that you have archery, lockpick, palming, strength, and wrangle. Or stealth, sorry, not strength.
Got it. I see it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the drive is under the instinct stack.
Is there a way to like assist rather than?
Yes. Yeah, you can assist. You can assist other people. What you would do is you'd both essentially roll, and the secondary would add their degrees of success. Would add 5 to the other person's roll, depending on per degree of success.
Okay. And you said there's an NPC captain.
There is an NPC captain.
What's his name?
I didn't write one in.
Is he the only other soul on this boat? Do we have an NPC like hacker, drone hacker?
No.
Bring him forth.
Just the captain.
Then I'm naming him Quint.
His name is Quint.
And is he proficient in driving the boat? Has he steered us away from danger?
Yeah.
That's his thing? Then I'm gonna let him do his thing, and I will assist Quint.
Okay. All right. Seeing that no one wants to try to drive the boat, Quint will drive the boat. Why don't you go ahead then and roll your drive and see if you get a success or how many degrees of success you get.
That is a failure, a 79.
Okay. All right. So at this time, then I will tell you about a cool thing that happens in this game. If you look at your character sheet, there's this thing called luck use per game. It's down in the middle of your character sheet on the left side next to build and health points and initiative, salvage, and stuff like that. The luck use per game is the number of times per game you can re-roll failed rolls. And you just re-roll the roll. If you wanted to use that, you don't have to. Just an option. Just telling you about it now because it makes sense now.
Okay. I mean, I'm assisting Quint, so how would my role affect him? I guess
it wouldn't really too much. Like game masters have the option of making failures become negatives, but it's an optional rule, and I'm not using it for this particular game.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna let it ride. We'll see what happens.
Okay, let's see what happens with Quint. Ooh, well, Quint did really well. All right, so Quint got a success, so he moves 1 distance away. Oh, it's 1 acceleration, which is the boat is 2. Okay, so 2 distances away. Okay, so the boat, he pushes the boat forward, and he starts moving away from the drone, but the drone is moving quite quickly. The drone, oh, no, drone only moves 1 unit closer. So it's a good thing that the boat moved away because he gained some distance. The drone, however, failed to increase or accelerate very well. So
I just envision myself like giving him commands, like
okay. So that's actually something that we could talk about too. You, if you want to give him commands, that's a different thing. There's a skill called command, which I think you're actually kind of good with. This is Sam I'm talking to, right? Or who am I talking to? Yep. Yeah.
You're talking
so, Sam is a commander style character. So if you look at your charisma is 70, right?
Yeah, if I could have rolled under that,
that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. No, you were assisting. That's fine. This is so what command does is now you'd roll your command, and for every degree of success, it's the same thing. The difference is you don't have to try to do the skill as well. You're just sort of giving an order, and the order comes across well enough. Is essentially how this spells down. So why don't you try that, and we'll see what happens.
This is still a failure, unfortunately.
You rolled over a 70?
Yeah, 81.
Man. Okay. All right. Well, Quint's trying. We'll try one more and see what happens. Okay. Yeah, Quint rolled a 96. So he's trying to push the boat, but something goes wrong, and it goes, and the engine kind of dies for a second, and then it kicks back on. You guys are relatively close. You could jump out and swim. It's not that far. It's mid-range from where you are now to the shore. But the drone is also mid-range.
Can I do some fancy mechanicking stuff to see if I can get the boat to get a little extra oomph going?
Yes, you can. So
I would like to oomph the boat.
You would roll some... Oh, Brother Imperius, you want to say something?
I will hop down and help her because I'm also pretty good at that.
Okay. So yeah, you guys can... who's the primary in this action?
I am proficient with a 60 for mechanicking.
Proficient with a 70.
Ooh.
Okay, so I'll assist him.
Okay. So you'll go ahead and roll
right.
at Dakota, and then Imperius will tell you what your threshold is.
Off roll under games. 27. I did very well.
Is that 2 degrees of success then? It sounds like it.
27, and my thing was a 60, so...
30, yeah, so it is. So 2 degrees of success. So, Imperius, you now have to roll under an 80.
No, I rolled a 70, so
there you go.
Good.
All right. Okay. So you're giving a little extra oomph, right? You guys are trying to like rewire some stuff. Do you have it? Does either of you have any component pieces at all?
And let me look.
What was the question?
Do you have any component pieces on your person? Component pieces are those random bits of randomness that you can use to build and fix things. Your character sheet would have them on the back page under the current CP section. If you have, that's no.
I have a repair kit, but
I mean, that would have helped you for your roll, but you already rolled, so.
just for character, I know it doesn't help, but for character, I picture him like this. He he's got his non-drinkable alcohol, but he doesn't care. He's older. It's more like this. Pour some in the tank and.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's how he's trying to fix it.
I do not have any component pieces.
I didn't think you guys did, but just in case you did, you could add some stuff to it. But you guys are going to give it an oomph. What I'll do is I'll give him advantage on his next attempt to drive.
Muttering under that's courage, impetuous courage.
Actually, it's a good thing you guys gave him advantage. So, he rolls into the shoreline and almost sort of beaches the ship, but not quite. He just enough to get it there so you guys can jump off if you wanted to. What do you guys want to do?
Skylar's going to go ahead and jump off onto the shore.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you see Sin right before the captain reaches the closest it can, about 10 foot before. She just is already in the water going to the shoreline.
Okay.
Shinobu's going to wait until the boat gets the closest, and he's going to go right off the nose and try and jump straight to clear land.
Okay. So is there anyone that stays on the boat?
No.
Nope. Okay.
I mean, is Quint willing to stay on the boat? Is he like, I'm going down with this thing?
No, Quentin will get off the boat too, but he's not sure what's happening at the moment. You guys have to wait to find out what the drone does. A moment after you guys make landfall, the drone comes up out of the water, but it seems like it was following a path, like it was trying to hunt you guys down and had targeted a person. It doesn't hit the boat. It in fact hits the beach and doesn't realize there's beach there. It beaches itself. And so now this drone comes up out of the water and its propeller is spinning uselessly as it's stuck in the sand. What
size is this thing as far as length and width and all that?
It's about the same size that you'd expect from a sort of torpedo thing. It's 100 CP, so it's quite long. It's about a person, 6 feet-ish long, and about 2.5, 3 feet wide. But it makes like sort of a cylinder. It has a lot of sensors and things on it, but it is clearly stuck in the water. It does have a gun, which is also buried in the dirt.
Okay, so can I tell if it's one that, like, if it would have run into us, it would have exploded, or was the gun the only means of weaponry on it?
Yeah, so you know some stuff about robots. The gun was probably its primary attack function. It may have an embedded explosive device inside, but it probably didn't. It probably used the rifle to shoot things in the water.
Okay, and you said the gun is kind of disabled and buried in the sand?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not disabled as it were. It's just buried in the sand, so it's probably not going to be effectively shooting anything if it fires.
Would any of our smart people have any knowledge of these things as far as knowing that maybe there'd be some parts we could try to salvage from it or anything?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, disable it, take it apart, maybe take that gun out of it, find some ammunition.
Such was my plan.
Yep, absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and like not go into combat or anything. It's just going to be a narrative moment. This thing is pretty much disabled. You can shut it down relatively easily, especially those of you that have mechanic skills and or knowledge of drones and or repair kits. So you guys can take it apart. We'll do each of you that has the mechanic. Everyone can try a skill that they're not proficient in, by the way. So whoever wants to make a mechanics roll to see if they can take some stuff off of this can go ahead and attempt it. But if you're not proficient, you have to do it with disadvantage.
Is the command skill, is that the universal skill?
It actually kind of is. You could totally use that to help anyone out, but you can only target one person at a time.
All right, who do I know is to be like this our smartest tech person since we've been traveling for a while?
Well, it depends. As indicated earlier, Imperius is apparently better at mechanics than Dakota is. However, Dakota is also the experienced drone person, like a robot person.
Then yeah, I will command Dakota in the best way.
Okay.
I know how.
So go ahead and roll your
Safety
command.
of- Awesome.
I assume Dakota wants to take pieces off of the drone.
Yeah, Sam doesn't know anything about drones. 92, but he claims that he does.
There's that.
Yeah, I've seen these things before.
Yeah.
Careful moving it. Nope.
Dakota grabs a wrench out of her tool belt around her waist and just, whatever, old man, fine. And she just walks over and starts kind of tinkering around with it.
So Dakota, you pulled a tool out. Tools give you advantage on your roll. But also, because earlier you were able to recognize that it was a robot, I'm going to let you keep that academics roll from before, and you get to add 10 to your threshold. So you're going to be rolling at 70 with advantage.
All right. I will come in as well if that's okay.
Yep, for sure.
Okay. And, well, much like they say, closing a door, opening a window, they beat your ship, but he sends you a robot.
Nice.
Oh, he rolled quite well. That's a extra degree of success.
So 2 degrees of success?
2 degrees of success, yeah.
Cool.
Is 3 zeros bad or 3 zeros good?
3 zeros is bad. Bad.
Okay, so then I got a 28.
Okay, cool. All right, so that was 2 degrees of success for you too, right? Yeah, because it's under 35. All right, since this is not combat, you guys are going to roll 2d4 plus 1 per degree of success. So in both cases, 44 plus. So it's 44 plus 2 you're both going to roll to find out how many component pieces you take off of this device. And Sam is going to stand there watching you the whole time, commanding you on what to do.
Well, and thus ends the good rules. 3.
So you rolled 2 ones?
I rolled, yep. You said it was 2d4 plus 1?
Plus 2, actually. It's 44 plus 2.
Oh, they said 2d4.
It's 2d4 plus 1 per degree of success. So in both cases, it was 44
then
plus
4.
No, I rolled 8 and then adding 2, so I got 10 component pieces.
Nice. Okay. Cool. So you guys take some pieces off of the drone. That's how many component pieces you guys get. One of you roll luck for me.
I think the kid's the lucky one. You go, Dakota.
$60.
Is that a success or failure? I think it's a failure. I think your luck is like 50 or 55.
Yeah, it was a failure. It
Okay.
was 55.
All right. So, as you guys are taking pieces off of it, you hear a click, and Dakota, you immediately recognize that that's not a good sign. And you guys have a chance to make a dodge roll before it explodes. Both of you roll dodge. Sam,
Okay.
how close were you to the drone?
I would say I was, fairly close. I
Okay.
mean, if I'm in there commanding.
All right. So go ahead and let's see. Why don't you roll luck for me to see if you were just too close or if you were fine.
Oh man, dice gods are not good to me today. That is a failure.
Okay. You are going to have to roll dodge then.
1 degree
Okay.
of success.
So I got a 32,
Uh-huh.
but Rage Against the Machine, attack and defense advantage.
You do have
so would I
advantage
get
on
to
that. Yep.
double roll that? Okay.
Yep. And for Sam, because you've never seen this character sheet before, your dodge is in the middle of the character sheet, right below the initiative and stuff.
Yep, I rolled it, and I got an amazing dodge.
Nice. Okay.
The 32 is my dodge.
Okay. So you guys all got successes?
Yeah, just 1, but yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Cool. All right, so you guys are fine then. You guys all managed to get out of the way just in time for this thing to go poof, and there's sand everywhere. There's just all of its remaining component pieces just go scattering into the wind, and you might be able to scavenge them if you were to try that, but they're gone. Like, they're all over the place. The gun is gone, but with the sand and it buried the way that it was, you're all just good enough to get out of the way before you take any damage from the shrapnel from this explosion. Which is what happens. However, in the explosion, in the aftermath and the smoke, you guys all noticed that there was something you didn't see before because you were too busy running from this drone and dealing with this drone. Beached on the beach where you guys are is a giant ship. It's huge. You're not sure why you didn't see it before, but you didn't. This ship is a rather large vessel. It is very clearly some kind of old tanker. Sorry, I can't think of the word. Refrigeration ship. That was the word I couldn't think of. So old reefer ship, and it has been damaged very clearly. One side of it has a big gash, not quite big enough for a person to get through, but a big gash on it, and it's lilting. It's tilted slightly in the sand, so it's leaning a little bit, but not a lot, just a little bit. What do you guys make of this?
Okay. After I dodge the blast from this little mistake I've made, I'm young. I'm still learning. I'm gonna take a peek over at this giant ship that we just happened to notice as I'm sliding into the sand, and I'm gonna start looking around. I want to see if there's anything that looks like it's got any sort of technology on it that has like sensors of any kind or any sort of security or anything like that.
Right. Maybe it's a drone ship.
I don't know. I drones are everywhere.
It's true. Almost anything can be a drone too, with the right kind of design and mechanics.
Exactly.
There doesn't seem to be any movement and any points on the refrigerated ship, and as you look closer at it, you can tell that it's actually not quite on the beach with you. It's off a little bit on a sandbar, so some point where the sand was higher, and the boat crashed into that. But there doesn't seem to be any kind of movement or robotic anythings. It does have some cranes on top. That there are 3 cranes on top of it, but they don't seem to be robotic, and it has the standard. Superstructure. Forgetting all my ship terminology. This is a ship adventure, and I'm forgetting all my terminology. The superstructure. So there's the main ship. It's probably 2 decks underneath the main deck, and then there's the cranes on the main deck, and then there's a superstructure. The backside is closest to you guys, and it's kind of still in the water a little bit. But the front end is definitely up above the water. There's no blinking lights, no mechanical movements, nothing like that. There's in fact no lighting at all, so there doesn't seem to be any electricity on it. Right.
Is there any sign of being able to get onto it?
Oh yeah, there are a couple of ways you could get onto it if you looked carefully enough. If you know anything about ships, which your captain NPC does, there's probably some hatch on the back which is slightly in the water. But there's a hole in the side which you could probably pry open a little bit more to climb inside. There's also a gangplank on the one side of it closest to you that you could probably try to wrangle with a rope and pull down. Otherwise, the boat that you guys have could roll up on the back of the ship, and probably, because it's low enough in the water, you could probably make some kind of bridge to walk across between your boat and the back of the ship, and go up onto it that way if you wanted to try that.
I think it's a huge tanker.
It's a huge reefer ship. It's not a tanker, as it were. It doesn't hold like oil, but it holds. It would have held in the past when it was working. It would have held food and stuff in its refrigeration holds.
Okay, and is there like an insignia, or something? I don't know if there's like factions in this.
No. So there's this particular case. There's not a faction sign. There's no flags or symbols painted on it that show that it belongs to any particular faction. It does have a name on the side of it, but it's hard to read because it's not in any language you know. It looks like it says something about something. You can't quite tell what it is.
Would Captain Quint figure he could get us up against that back edge relatively safely with the boat if we got it back off the beach?
Yeah, if you got the boat back off the beach, Quint thinks that he could probably roll it up close enough and make like a close enough bridge to it that you guys wouldn't have to worry too much, relatively safely.
There may be more drones. Are we sure about putting the boat back in the water?
Well, we didn't hear anything else like that after this one beached itself. Not that I know much about drones, but
There's never
Dakota?
only chaos in what we do with it.
We're probably... That thing was probably after me anyways. They're always after me.
Does
Get the better of it.
does
Sorry.
anyone else have glow sticks in their inventory, or is it just me?
I do.
Yep.
Okay. I think the best course is to have the ship go up to the back of it. That way, if anything does happen, we can easily get out. But we need somebody with a glow stick to go into the door to illuminate into the hallway if there is one.
Well, if we're going to go that route, when we get up to the back of it, I can give me a little bit to just look inside and see what I see before the rest of you come off of the boat. That's usually what I do.
Yeah, the boat is I just found the stats for it that I was looking for a moment ago. It's 117 meters in length and 21 meters wide and 7 meters tall. So it's quite a large ship. And there are 3 decks, like I told you before, and cranes. But yes, there's no electricity, and it could be relatively shaky. So it might be a good idea for someone to go on, check it out a little bit, and then the rest follow.
Is there any signs that it was exited by something like a rope hanging off the front?
Not that you can see, but you're also a bit away from it. So when you guys get closer, you might be able to do a better examination of that.
Okay.
You also don't see one side of it. One side of it is still out of your view.
If we get close enough to actually go in, I can provide us with a low light flashlight. It's not exactly a great one, but it'll work.
Yeah, Scott, question on that glow stick. Is it once you light it up, that's it? There's no way to turn it off or
Correct.
to save it?
Yeah, once you crack it, it is good for 12 hours. And it doesn't turn off. Yeah, you can't distinguish it.
Yeah, San would look at the big guy and go, well, yeah, that's a better idea, because if we use these sticks, there's no way to just turn them off like that.
Yeah, I can save the battery. I can use it in, I think it's 1 hour blocks or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it's the mechanically powered one, you know that even when the battery dies, you can just charge it up with a minute of cranking it.
Okay.
Sam will get up, brush the sand off of his hat over his knee from dodging that explosion, and be like, well, there's nothing for it. Let's go take a look at it. And let's start walking in that direction.
Okay. So you guys want to do the boat idea, the boat behind it, make a bridge, and go across the back of the boat? Is that correct?
Well, I think I want to look at it first.
Okay.
Let's just do
check
that
it out as best as possible? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go with Sam to look around the boat.
Okay. So there is Skylar and Sam, and who else is going to look around the boat? And who's going in the boat with Quint to bring it closer to the ship?
Well, if we need a push to get it off the shore, Shinobu will try pushing back on our boat. If anybody else wanted to give him a hand, give him a second hand to give a push.
Dakota will kind of hang back and help with the boat. She's got a little look of slight remorse on her face because she feels like an idiot for blowing up the drone.
It's all right. It happens. Drones explode. That's what they do. Anyway.
Well, I'm not.
Sam's going to stay back also with Dakota and Shinobu.
Okay. So we've
Yeah,
got.
that's where Imperius is hanging back as well, and he's going to hand Shinobu his crowbar. I'm not very strong, but Shinobu looks like he can handle this.
Yeah. Cool. That's used for prying. Yeah, I guess you're trying to pry out sand. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so then it's Skylar and Sam going to check out the boat. Yeah. Okay. So I'll get to the 4 of you that are pushing the boat into the water and the boat stuff in a moment. Let's go to Skylar and Sam first, because you guys are walking to the boat across the sandbar out to where it is. to check it out. So you guys are getting too close to the boat, and you start to cross that sandbar. You notice the sand is quite slippery. In fact, it is so slippery, both of you have to make an athletics skill roll to not just sink and slide into the sand and into the water.
47 out of 60.
Okay.
Okay, so
I know Sam's
Sam's
not super great at this
No.
athletics thing.
I don't know how Sam's standing up, but he's
He's a gunslinger, man.
Yeah, I guess so. We'll roll that. Okay, that's definitely a failure. As soon as I like sense this type of danger, like what am I assuming? Is there like oil mixed in with the sand here? Is that what's going on?
It's that it's really, really wet. Like the sand is only there probably because of the pushing of the boat. Like it's not actual like solid ground. That's sort of the problem here.
And is there any way to like get egress up to the boat without traversing this kind of waterlogged kind of?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things you could do now that you realize that you're going to have trouble standing on it because you slip and fall into the water a bit. You get wet. It's no big deal. You're not really injured or anything. You just sort of slide and you realize that it might be worse when you get closer. What you can try to do, if you had someone who had the ability to do that, would be maybe to try to craft some kind of shoes that displace the sand so you don't sink in it as much, right? By displacing your weight over a wider surface. Like, snowshoes kind of feel. You could try to figure out another way around it, or you could just swim around it. It's up to you.
And I'm assuming swimming is athletics, right?
Swimming would be athletics if there was sort of a current. There's not really going to be a current, so you could just swim around it, but if something were to happen, I would make you make an athletics roll. Hint,
Yeah, Sam
not
doesn't
telling
like
you
the
that
idea of
you
swimming.
would necessarily every time you swim, but
No, Sam doesn't like the idea of swimming because then he can't shoot. So he'll try to search for another way to get. If
Okay.
that means he has to take a wider kind of berth around the boat, so be it.
Skylar, do you want to keep going, or do you want to leave with Sam and go try to find maybe another way around, or maybe go farther down the beach and see if you can see from the other side from up there?
I don't feel like leaving him alone, so I'll go with him on what he chooses.
Make a perception roll for me real quick.
That is going to be a 30 out of 50.
Cool. So on this side of the boat, you see, before you decide to turn back, that there seems to be some sort of fledgling oyster reef growing under the side of the ship as it's leaning against the sand. Hint, if you didn't know this, oysters will grow on the underside of a ship if it sits there against like ground for a while or a wharf. This is a true statement. My wife's uncle told me about this. This is how I know, and that's why I put it in. He's a retired shipbuilder from.
How far away is the oysters from me?
So it's not super far. You could get there. You definitely could get there without having to worry about too much slippage. You would be right up against the boat, however, if that makes you worry about anything.
Not really.
But it would also make you close enough to try to wrangle the gangplank down if you wanted to try that too, or pry open the hole because you're right next to it. The hole looks like a big gash in the ship, by the way. It looks like it hit something, and maybe that's why they aimed toward the beach to get off before it sank.
Sam, do you have a rope?
I do not.
No. Do you have a pry bar or anything like that?
Yeah, Sam's like super like short. I would say he's almost a small person gunslinger.
Okay. So you got nothing for it to helping. Okay, gotcha.
He gives commands and shoots guns, man.
Well, I do bring to Sam's attention of the oysters growing by the ship. Like, hey, there's some food. I'm gonna grab those. And so I'm gonna walk up and start grabbing some of them.
Okay. So
You mentioned food out there?
Yeah,
Food?
there's some oysters. There's oysters right along the ship. And pretty sure we can eat those.
Okay.
Can I go out there and help that? Food's interesting.
I mean, you can go out there and help that if you want to try.
Yeah, he piqued Shinobu's interest. That's food.
Okay. So before the boats get pushed in the water, Shinobu gives up on the idea of helping and runs over to find this food stuff. Okay, Shinobu, make an athletics roll for me to see if you slip and fall into the water.
He rolled a 20 and has a athletics of 50.
Okay, cool. And you have that as proficient, right? You're not disadvantaged or anything.
Give me 1 second. Yes, athletics are proficient.
Yeah, I think he's one of those characters that I think is like proficient in the athletic stuff. Okay, so yeah, you're totally fine. So you just kind of like do out on the sand, just blow past Sam, who's like getting his balance again, and come up to Skylar. So you both are there, and you can both you can now see all these oysters that are growing on the other side of the boat on the water. You can try to get at them. You guys are going to both make a this is a foraging thing because you can see them, so you don't have to, it's not like you're hunting or scavenging or salvaging rather. You are foraging these, so you're going to make a survival skill roll. However, I'm going to tell you right now, you automatically get a success because you can see them and you know they're there, and you're going to get some regardless, right? Because you can see them. You're not
okay.
Like, you know where they are essentially. So you're going to roll your survival skill roll, and then you're going to get at least 1 degree of success.
Okay.
As they're rolling, I will remind them, someone mentioned the gash, that Shinobu just ran off with my crowbar. So it's over there now.
That's true.
Put it to good use, Shinobu.
I mean, to be fair, Skylar has a fireman's axe, which can be kind of used as a crowbar too. Like, to be fair.
Yeah.
27.
And then-
So
yeah.
he just got success. Nothing
Okay.
passed. He passed by 3 points.
Okay.
I got a 36 out of 50.
So also success. You both got a success.
Mhm.
Cool. So a success on a forage roll is usually 1 food unit, but in this case, because there's oysters here, you get 2 food units each. So you both managed to scrape off 4 food units. However, because you both got a success, you can make a second attempt to to forage more of these oysters. See what happens. Go ahead.
Before they run out on what we can find.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll.
Oh, that's much better. That's a 008.
Ooh, so that's an amazing success then, yeah?
I think it's 40. Survival's 40. Yeah, so quarter is 10. So yeah, that's 3.
Cool.
I got a 71 out of 50.
Okay. That's all right, because Shinobu, who's really excited about the food, manages to find 3 more food units, or 4 more actually, we'll say 4 more food units of oysters, and then that's all of the oysters you guys can find.
How many was that total then?
I think 8. You found 6 and he found 2, so yeah, 8.
So okay, whoa. At least we got fresh food for tonight. So
Scrape all those oysters off, kind of break them apart, put them in your bags and whatever.
Shinobu.
Huh?
Since we're right here, how about we try to...
Let's jump to the boat people.
Okay.
So boat people, you guys are trying to get the boat into the water. You're having some trouble working on it, and you were just about to shove it in when Shinobu ran off. However, after that, the rest of you are able just to combine forces and push it off. It's not super embedded. It's not like he beached it, right? Like I said, he cut it just in time so that it hit the water, but it didn't, or it hit the land, but didn't beach it. So you push it off into the water. Far enough that it can sort of move itself around, and you guys can climb in via whatever methods you have to climb in from the water, because presumably it's designed so you can climb into it once you're in the water. And you guys can get into the boat, or you can not get in the boat. What do you guys want to do?
I mean, I'm going to get in the boat because
get in
we're
the boat.
trying to get in the big boat from the little boat, so
That was
into
your
the boat.
plan, right?
Yep.
Before Shinobu ran
Even
off.
though the big guy left.
Yeah.
Sin will look towards Dakota and will go, maybe we should teach the big guy, but he's not very good at multitasking.
Especially when he needs to be in 2 places at once.
Yeah, she'll get on the boat also.
Okay. All right, so you guys get into the boat, and the Captain Quint, he starts moving the boat toward the bigger boat. who wants to try to create a bridge with a crafting skill?
I can give her a go if you want.
Cool. There's enough random pieces of junk laying around on the boat, because that's what the boat is made out of, that you can make a bridge without having to worry about the CP that you have. So go ahead and make a crafting skill roll. You just need a success to craft the...
Yep. I am actually extra skilled in crafting, which gives me, I have a 75. I rolled a 59.
Nice. Okay, so you just needed a success to craft the bridge. 1 degree of success, though, right?
Yep.
Okay, so it's a rickety bridge.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. It'll hold you guys. It's not too big of a problem. It's just basically a couple of boards lashed together, maybe like a nail or two here or there.
And so we lay it across, and I'm sorry, Scott, you left this lying right here for me. So we lay it across, and Sin's going across first, correct? Remember, Sin, walk on the left side.
Yep, she'll look at Brother Imperius and go, yes, let me just kind of look ahead and make sure there's nothing hiding in the shadows. So she wants to stealth ahead a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm using that as a command because I have command and I got 1 degree of success on my command.
Neat. So that gives you a +5 to your agility for the stealth roll.
All right. That is a 30, so that will be a great success in with a 90 in agility.
Nice. Very good. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. That was a great success. Good. All right. So the boat rolls up, the bridge gets let down, clink, and you go up nice and carefully and quietly without a problem. Sam, they took time. This all took some time for them to like scrape off the oysters and for the boat to get in the water and go across and make the plank. What did you do during all that time to try to figure out a better way to get to the boat?
Well, Sam's just watching them. He's watching because it's an unknown entity. There could be anything in there, So he's just watching over his companions, and he actually has his hand on his gun to draw it quickly and shoot anything that appears.
Cool. I'm going to say that you also, because you've had all that time to sort of look at the boat, you can get a pretty good idea on how the boat is designed and where things are. So if you get on the boat, you'll have a better idea of like navigating through the boat and finding things, which will come out to some advantage at certain rolls. Just because you're kind of hanging out, watching them, watching everybody, watching the boat, making sure nothing happens, nothing moves. Ready to kill a thing if it happens, yeah?
Yeah, I'm still in like yelling distance to the companions that are like getting on the backside of the boat.
For sure.
Okay.
Might
and
those
those
like stealthiness, but sure.
All right. Those cranes, they can be lowered to the beach.
Yes, they can.
Okay. I scream over the water. Hey! Lower those cranes!
It's actually not a bad idea. Cool. Sin, while you're coming up on the back of the boat, you hear, "Hey, lower those cranes!" And now you're on the boat.
Yep, she ignores it because she knows it's not something she can do anyway, so she just ignores it.
Okay, so you, where are we at? Bridge across the boat. Okay, so we're there. Okay, so you are now on the boat. You're on the backside, the stern of the boat. The propeller is underneath you as you cross that plank onto the back of the boat. It's a little bit scary, but not enough to really cause you any kind of like necessity to roll a resolve roll. You're fine. Rot and rust are prominent everywhere on the ship, and it looks like there have been a small number of mammals exploring it in the past. There's, little shoe marks, little droppings. But for the most part, there's just a grime that covers everything on the ship. Because you're near the back, near the stern, you are near the superstructure of the boat. So you're on the backside. There's it's essentially 5 levels of the superstructure. There's some little awnings. There is one emergency lifeboat on the side that's still on the superstructure. It's attached to the superstructure, but it's designed to be left to dropped from the superstructure over the side of the boat, over the side of the ship. So it's above you in like an awning. The other one is missing, however, on the which side is it on? One of the sides. I think it's the starboard side that's missing. Yes. So on the exterior of the superstructure, you notice that they're on the... Well, on both sides. On the starboard side, actually. On the starboard, the same side where the boat is missing, there are some storage doors, it appears. But otherwise, there are 2 doors to go into the interior on either end, on the port and starboard side, that go into the interior of the superstructure. They are currently not locked. One of them is just kind of swinging lazily. It looks a bit damaged.
All right. She doesn't hear anything, though, any noises coming from inside of where she's
Not the
inspecting?
superstructure, no. Aside from the slight creak of the door that's lazily moving.
Right. Yeah, she'll just go back and get Brother Imperius and Dakota. And, well, I don't hear much up there. I don't think there's anything waiting to jump on us.
Okay.
Oh, let's go then.
Well, I will. Once I'm on board, I will attempt to do what Sam had asked for. From the distance, it sounds like shower in the rain, but that can't be what he means. So I'm going to go lower a crane.
That's funny. That's funny. I'm going to bring up my boat map that I borrowed from someone else. There's no boat map for me to share with you guys because I borrowed a boat map from another company's adventure. Because I liked their map. So, I mean, I can share it with you, but I'm not going to because it also gives away secrets. Okay.
That's no fun.
Oh, there was a door. No, there wasn't. Yeah, there was a door. There was a door on the stern that went directly into the superstructure. Sorry, I missed that door when I was describing it. But okay, so other people come on board the ship from the boat. Is that correct?
Right. Dakota's gonna try to kind of stay away from the other 2 and be super stealthy and kind of sneak around. And
okay,
there's something I can like kind of peek in through some windows, maybe into some structures on it, or maybe in through some cracked doors or something.
Yep, there are definitely cracked doors. Let's jump to because Brother Imperius is gonna go try to lower the crane. Is that correct?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead, Dakota? Why don't you roll some stealth for me? And then we'll talk about what you see when you're peeking around after I talk to Brother Imperius. And Sin's great success is still standing.
That is a 26, and my number is a 75.
Also a great success. Okay, so you both are pretty stealthily moving around, not making sounds as you're moving. Brother Imperius, you're going to go lower a crane, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
And are you trying to be stealthy about it?
I don't think he possibly could be stealthy. He's probably walking over, humming some kind of a hymn chant to himself.
To keep himself from... trying to keep himself from being, freaked out by any of the listing of the boat or any of the stuff like that. Yeah.
He's actually he's thick-headed. He's actually good at resolve. He doesn't scare easily, but he's bad to put in a fight.
And this is how he manages to stay so thick-headed. He just sings to himself and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you go over toward the cranes. There are 2 operative cranes and 1 broken crane. One crane is clearly broken. But also so is the plate that covers the entry down to this. So there's 3 entrances to the lower areas, the refrigerated areas in the lower decks. And these have plates covering them. The 3rd plate, which is also where the 3rd crane is damaged. It's been bent up a little bit. And there's some light coming in from outside, goes down into there. And the crane has clearly been broken and bent, and the battery is destroyed. The other 2 cranes seem to be fine. It doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with them. They're absolutely okay.
I'm sure that's true. Or not.
Okay.
Either way, we as I said, we do things and chaos makes us do other things. So let us go.
Cool.
Which one's on the side Sam is on? I would like to get, as Sam requested, I would like to get him a crane.
They're all in the middle, but they can all be rotated and moved over to either side. They're long enough. The middle crane is probably your best option, only because it's in the middle and because it's not damaged.
Okay, that's what we'll do then.
Yeah. So what you want to do for this one is getting it on is going to take a little bit of effort, some mechanics skill.
Okay.
To get it working again. And you have some CP, yeah? Because you got some from
the
drone?
Yes, I have some.
Cool. You're going to need a little bit of CP to get it working.
Okay. Oh, not a problem. I don't make greater success, but I'm at like My mechanics is 70, and I'm at like a 40 something, 44.
Okay, so you got a decent roll there, and then you're repairing the. Okay, how many CP do you have on you?
I believe I think I have 4.
All right, so you got. I mean, you're probably gonna use it all because
Yeah.
that's you need like 10, but I'm just gonna call it 6.
Oh, thank
So
you.
use all of your CP to repair the batteries for the crane to get the crane working. There is some gas inside of its engine, its motor, as it were. You can tell that it's got some gas. However, there is some algae congealing on the top of it. But that was part of your successful roll to get that out too.
Okay.
But that makes you think that the others may have gas too, which is something you can
Okay.
salvage.
Yes.
So you get it going. It kicks on and starts to make noise. It's got a little bit of a, and then it's going, and you can move it. You have drive? Do you not have drive? You don't have drive, do you?
I don't know if I have tech use. I don't know if that would help.
That would totally be fine. That's totally fine to me.
Okay. Oh, he's 2 greatest because 2 levels.
Yep, cool. All right, so using your tech use, you know how to work sort of machines and stuff, and technically it's more computer stuff, but this is kind of computer. You punch buttons, things happen. So you manage to turn it to the way it needs to go, and you can lower it down to the sand below. Skylar and Shinobu, you guys are hanging out down there, scraping up oysters, and right about the time that you're debating what to do next, the crane starts moving above you and then lowers down to the sand right next to you. Sam, your plan to lower the crane has clearly been enacted by your team. It's obvious that you're their leader.
Command of 70. So, and a gun. I don't know if anyone else has a gun. But excellent. And the crane is being lowered for me to be risen up on. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you could, with the help of the others, they could kind of chain it and grab you. So if you were to slip, you could just latch onto them. So I'm not going to make you make an athletics roll to cross the sandbar to get up to where everyone else is, because these guys will help you out. I assume, unless your team decides to just let you try to figure it out on your own. I guess I shouldn't have presumed they would help you.
Yeah,
Feet.
they know. Come on, boys, let's go. Our ride's here.
I love Sam's. I must be Sam's second because I have a 65 command and a gun as well. So I must be your second in command.
Definitely are. I look to you for actual. Yeah, if things get out of line, you back me up.
This is the Japanese Navy. I have a sword. That makes me an officer, correct?
Nice.
So I guess I'm the executioner because I got the axe.
Shinobu's going to jump up onto the end of the crane and find some way of find some place he can take Sam and wedge him into something that when we move he ain't gonna fall out.
Sure. Yeah, you guys can all grab a hold and hang on, and Brother Imperius can make a tech roll not to slam you into the side of the boat as he's lifting you up.
Is one success enough to not have
That is
happen?
enough. You managed to not slam them into the side of the boat as you winch them up. Okay, we're going to jump to Dakota and Sin, who were looking around while this was going on. Dakota and Sin, you're looking around and peeking in through doorways and windows and stuff, yeah?
Correct.
Are you guys opening any doors at all on the exterior before going into the interior? Or just sort of peeking around?
Well, I'm going to peek around and stuff, but if I see a door that's cracked and it's kind of open, and I can see through and it doesn't look like there's anything there, then I might kind of try to slide it open a little and see if I can get it.
Sin would not. She would just kind of be listening right now. I mean, she's waiting for all of them to get up there. So, yeah, she's not actually going in any.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception roll then for me, Sin, as you sit there and listen. I'll give you advantage because you were listening for a while.
All right. That will be a 13, and my perception is 40.
Cool. You don't notice anything at first. These guys start making noise over with the crane and stuff. And after they start making noise with the crane, you're not sure, but you thought you heard something else deeper in the ship. Something like a door closing or moving or something hitting the side of some metal against metal sounds is essentially what you hear. But like real quiet and real slow, like not like something fast being thrown open or rammed open or anything like that.
Okay.
All right, Dakota, you're looking around. There are all of the doors are kind of open, so you can just kind of like, you know, push them with a knife blade, for example, to get them all the way open. You don't have to like touch it or anything. In fact, you could probably just wait because one is sort of lazily swinging. You could wait until it opens more to see inside without touching it. But you can see drops of blood on the inside of the superstructure on the deck. And when one of the doors opens a lot, you see just blood and a handprint smeared across it on the inside.
Is it red blood or is it like brown blood? Like, does it look like it's old or does it look super fresh?
It looks old. It's old blood.
Okay.
Like really old blood. Probably been here a while.
Okay. If I look at the floor, are there any like bloody footprints like formed from a pile of anything? And can I find the corpse that made the blood?
You can probably, you could definitely track this blood. In fact, if you want to make a trekking roll, you could follow these tracks all over the ship, probably, if you get a success.
I will give it a shot.
Otherwise, you're just kind of poking around and seeing if there's more blood in the rooms and stuff.
Well, I rolled at disadvantage, and I rolled an 86 and a 96, so
okay,
I can't follow anything.
So there's just too much blood. It's not really, it doesn't seem like there's much of an organization to it. So while you're sure you can find like blood in different rooms as you go, you could probably figure it out by process of elimination, rooms that have blood versus rooms that don't. You can't quite follow it. There's just too much of it, or it's in too much of a random pattern.
Okay, well, I guess if I can't follow the blood and figure out what's going on there, I want to look around and see if there's any evidence of recent activity. Like, are there areas where like there's no dust or things have been cleaned off?
It doesn't look like there's that. There's a lot of grime. Like I said before, there was grime on everything. There's grime on all kinds of stuff. So if something had been sort of moved or messed with recently, the grime would have like fingerprints or swipe marks and things, footprints. And it doesn't look like that's the case. It looks like this has just been sort of left here by itself for a while and nothing has touched it aside from like I said, the small indicators of mammals that have come on and chewed on stuff and like pooped. So rats or raccoons, things like that.
Okay. And I guess last thing I'm gonna look for is like, are there any like a logbook or anything in anywhere?
Yeah, so if you want to go inside the superstructure, there are a bunch of different doorways and rooms inside. Going into the superstructure, you find that there are several doors on the... Depends on which door, I guess, you go through. But for the most part, there are a bunch of doors on either end. There's two hallways that kind of go along. One that goes this way, as it were, like along the starboard port sides of the ship, and then one that goes aft to stern inside the superstructure. So you basically have two hallways that sort of meet at one point. There are a lot of doorways along the inside, but there are also those doors on the outside. What you realize when you're kind of peeking in and looking around is that those ones on the outside are probably storage areas that are only on the outside because there's no inner doors to those on the inside of the hallways. So that's a bit of a strange thing, but that's what they are. They're storage units, you think, because there's only one access point, and it's on the outside. Meanwhile, on the inside, there are several doors to several different rooms. You can go into them and see if there's a logbook.
I will stealthily do that.
Okay. Let's see. Go from... Which door would you have gone in, port or starboard? It just determines how many doors are near you when you come in.
Port.
Okay, port. When you come in, there's one door to your left, and then that hallway junction for that other hallway, and then there's two more doors to your left, and there's some sort of other things. And then the far end of the hall, there's three doors directly, like one on one side and two on the other side. The first door to your left, when you look in, is room, superstructure, interior. Sorry, I'm trying to find the room it is. room is that? I am lost in my rooms. Okay. Oh, okay. It's the dining room. That's right. It's the dining room. Inside that room are rows of chairs and tables covered with half-eaten molded meals sitting on cold white plates, while there are standard kitchen utensils scattered about. A number of tables have been set on their sides as if to form a barricade near the door, but they are bent and twisted and covered in blood.
I'm going to pick up a random fork and put it in my pocket.
Okay. Do you want to roll a quick salvage for me to see if you find some other stuff in there while you're looking around?
Sure.
Cool. Roll salvage special stat for me and tell me if you get a success or not, or any degrees of success that you have.
Yeah, I did not. I got a 70.
Okay.
And I have a 52.
You found some forks and stuff. That's it. That's all you got. The next room.
I'm going to go to the next room then.
Okay. The next room is that would be that room. It's a large kitchen that contains a large assortment of pots and pans and other cooking paraphernalia. Rancid and moldy food sits in a large pot on an unlit stove. A pot of stew has been overturned and its contents are being consumed by maggots on the floor. This is the only movement you've seen so far. There are all manner of kitchen knives in here. Yes. And that's what you see.
I guess I will raid this room too for a nice kitchen knife while I'm in here.
Okay. The
Just going to pick up random stuff.
Kitchen knife does average damage, which is 2d4. Do you want to roll a salvage roll?
Yeah, I'm not very good at the salvage thing. 71.
That's fine. Okay, yeah. You don't really find anything else. Just how many knives do you want? There's a number of them.
I'll just pick up, I don't know, 3 of the sharpest looking ones.
Okay. You have 3 average damage blades, which you can keep or hand out. It's up to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Next room, I guess, unless you want to go to everybody else for a minute.
We'll do a little bit more here, and then we'll cut to everyone else because it takes time for them to get the crane down there. And Sin was gonna sit and listen. So, okay. And then the next, you come back, you see that when you leave that room, there's a small hallway that goes to like a staircase that clearly goes up. There's 2 little storage rooms in there. They're labeled storage, so you can see that that's what they are. They're labeled in both the strange language you didn't know and then in English that says storage. And then you have the final section where there are 3 doors all in one place. One door, the one on the left, it appears to be an office of some kind full of papers and desks. The doors on the right are both labeled captains and... did I mess that? Yeah, one... Oh, yeah. So the one on the one on the left is just another dining hall, but this one doesn't have any, like, there's no flipped tables or anything. And there's no utensils anywhere. But the other 2, one says captain's office, and the door is closed, and the other one is open, and it's got filing cabinets and a desk and a swivel chair. There's blood in that room, by the way.
I'm going to go in the captain's room.
Okay, so you try to open the captain's door, and it's locked. So you need to use a lockpick skill, or you can try to kick it open.
I will lockpick it then.
Okay. Do you have lockpick tools?
I don't know.
Let me look at your character sheet.
I do. Can I attempt to remove the lock with?
You could, yeah. You could also disable it. You could take it apart. Yeah, absolutely. Just use a roll a mechanics roll, and since you have tools for that, you have advantage, and you can take it apart.
I will mechanic the door open.
Yeah. Sounds good to me. Did you get a success?
I did. I got a 53 out of 60.
Then you managed to obtain 7 component pieces from disabling this lock, and you have opened the door. Inside the room, you find a well-ordered room with a desk and a swivel chair and a bookcase holding a series of books on maritime law in English and in that weird language. It's obvious that this is the captain's office. There's a logbook on the desk and a half-empty mug of rancid coffee.
I will pick up the logbook.
Cool. The logbook When you flip it open, it contains distances and charts and shows various trade ports with random groups on the Mississippi Sea. It's actually quite useful because now you know where there are a lot of like little civilizations on both the east and west continents. All the rest of it is in that strange language that you don't know anything about.
Okay.
But it does contain like a quick record of, like, it's been a while since there's been any indication of any kind of activity in the book, but there are records of things that they traded.
Great. So, when's the last entry?
Quite a long time ago. Let me see if I can grab it real fast. Put my information in 2 different places, so I have to jump back. Captain's log. Okay, so you don't know that language because languages are not a thing anymore. Okay, so it is called the Duchess. That's what you get off of it. It left Norway carrying fruits and vegetables very long ago. Its most recent entry was about a year ago.
What did they bring on board?
They brought on some trade goods from one of the trade ports, but then they were attacked by robots. And
It's always robots.
the crew was able to fend them off, and then that's sort of when they realized that they were going to have to do stuff on their own. That was the last entry. That's all you know.
Okay, well,
And it's in a foreign language, so a lot of it was hard to figure out what was going on. But
is there anything else of interest in this room?
no,
Aside
not
from
in
the
this
logbook?
room. Besides the rancid coffee.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't drink coffee. Coffee's for old people.
It's that old people drink.
It is. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm kind of getting a little paranoid now, so I'm gonna grab the logbook and carry it out. And as soon as I saw something about robots, I'm gonna kind of like start dashing back out towards everybody else because I don't want to be stuck in here with a drone in a small room.
Oh, yeah. Also, that logbook tells you what's in those storages that are on the side, by the way, the exterior storages.
Great, I'll read that outside by everybody else.
Yeah, that's fine. So we'll jump to everyone else. Okay, so Skylar, Brother Imperius, Shinobu, Sam, you guys. So you guys managed to come up onto the deck, very gently get set down on the main deck. You're now on the main deck of the ship. You notice that there's the superstructure over there by the stern, and then there's this sort of aft portion. It's a little bit higher. It's a bit harder for you to walk up toward that, but that crane and that plate that cover the lower decks are sort of broken, and there's some way to look down into them. But otherwise, you have 2 plates in front of you, and then the cranes.
Shinobu would like to go to the bent up open plate covering the front section,
Okay.
and see if he can get any kind of idea what would be down in there, preferably on a side where his shadow is not going to cast down in there.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, you can do that without having to make like a roll. You can just stand so that your shadow doesn't go down into the hole. Kind of look in as best as you can. That happens to be right where that gash on the side of the ship is, so there's sunlight down in there too, so you can kind of see. Make a perception roll with advantage for me to see what you can see down in the hole.
Okay. Perception instinct. I see a hole because my perception is 40 and I rolled 80.
Okay. Double check which hold that is, just so I know.
Or sorry, you said advantage, right?
Yeah, you had advantage. Yeah,
Okay, so
because there's a hole in the side of the ship.
34,
Okay.
which passes by 7.
All right. So down in there, you see what appears to be some stacks of some foodstuffs. But more than that, you can smell what appears to, or what the smell of curdled dairy products. It's strange to you, but it's clear that somehow after everything fell apart, they'd still managed to keep the refrigeration working on the ship. So they were doing real well. You can just see like little signs that there was some refrigerant in there before, keeping things cool. But it smells like curdled milk down in there.
Ugh. That's not fresh, guys. Definitely not fresh. Or too fresh, one or the other. I'll indicate we should go to the back of the boat. The front's non-salvageable.
Before we head to the back, Brother Imperius will look at Skylar. You enjoy fire, correct, my friend?
Yes, I do.
I believe there should be some gasoline left in some of these crane tanks.
Thank you, brother. I will definitely go and look at that.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's definitely gas in some of these tanks. I'm sure you don't have any random containers to hold any of this. So you're going to need to find some. Perhaps there's some on the ship, perhaps there's some back on your other ship. But there's definitely a decent amount of salvageable gasoline here.
Could you not just disconnect the gas tank?
He could also do that if he wanted to make a mechanics roll to do that. Very good point. I will allow it.
Well, I can certainly help with that.
How big are the gas tanks?
That's a good question. Question I've never been asked before. Let's see what I wrote down for the size of the amount of gas that they contain, and then we can work from there. Cranes, meter, stuff that is in the storages. Okay, main deck. Where is the? Okay. All right. Well, it doesn't look like I wrote that down, even though I thought I did. I may have deleted it when I was doing stuff. Oh, I see what I did. Okay, yes. So, well, they are big enough to hold however many degrees of success you make on a salvage special stat roll trying to salvage all of this gasoline. So why don't we just go with this? Why don't you make a salvage special stat roll for me real fast? This won't even really count against anything. And then I'll figure out from that, based on that, how much gasoline are in these tanks.
Where's salvage?
Salvage is a special stat. It's like with resilience. It's right in the middle of your character sheet, right in the center, right next to initiative.
Think of the joy this fire could bring you, my son. And I make a command roll.
Oh, you make a command roll. Very cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
so
do
he's I made dead even. So he's +5 to him. I'm hoping is what that does.
Yep, correct.
That's not good.
Did it fail?
It's a fail.
Do you want to do that luck reroll thing?
I'm going to burn 1 luck to reroll that.
I feel like you'd really want this gasoline, so.
Oh, I do.
Remember, you're 5 better on your salvage. I'm hoping that helps.
Oh, that's a 20 out of 50. So that is.
Yeah, it's great success.
It's great success.
Okay, so that would be 6. 9, 12. So you have 12 units of gasoline, 12 CB worth of gasoline, which is actually, yeah, so there's quite a bit of gasoline in there. It's a decent amount. So these guys are smaller, but they hold quite a bit when combined together. So based on their things. So you could carry, they're all 3 different gas tanks, essentially, worth of gas. I would, based on the gasoline stat. Do you have gasoline on your character sheet? I'm just looking real fast.
That is actually don't have.
You do not have that. So this is when I open my handy dandy rulebook prototype to get to the gear section. Okay, so 20 liters comes out to 40 CP. You have so basically 1/4 of so 1/4 of that would be 5 liters of gasoline. That's all that it is. It's not that much, but it is a decent amount for what you want to do, which is burn stuff. Yep.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, you could take those off. Brother Imperius is gonna help you take them apart. So you guys are working on that when Dakota comes out with her book and meets up with Sin. Sam, Shinobu, what are you guys doing while they're scraping up that gasoline?
Yeah, so Sam's going to look over the side of the boat and see if we can bring our boat. If there's a place where Quentin can bring the boat up next to our boat, and we can use the crane to salvage stuff off the deck. That means like moving those gas tanks onto our boat. So be it.
Yeah. So the problem with the other side of the boat is that it also has some sand. And that's where you find a broken lifeboat that was clearly dropped off the side. It has been broken up, and there's blood all up inside of it, as well as torn clothing and rags. It looks like there was some kind of struggle, and someone did not make it out very well. Lots of gore in that. The boat could pull up beside, but it might beach itself. Who knows?
How about that door at the back? If we found a way down to that door at the back that exited straight out of the back of the boat, could we just walk it out onto the deck of the other boat?
You could probably do that, yeah. You could also, use your makeshift bridge if you're careful. But yes, you could definitely float it out or push it out the back of the boat onto your other boat. Pretty easily.
Okay.
Do we have a container on our boat? Like a gas tank? Or plastic?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'll just get that and just siphon it.
Oh, these guys are managing to remove their gas cans just fine. Like, they're not going to have a problem getting it out and bringing it down to your boat.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah. So they're doing fine over there. That suggestion to take that off actually was a good one. So that's not a problem. But you want to salvage other stuff on this boat and bring it down to your boat?
Yeah, I'm just like a cursory glance around stuff. What can be salvaged? I'll salvage the damn crane if I have to.
Yeah, right. You can definitely take apart the crane if you wanted to and try to take pieces of that. There's the other lifeboat, which is up on the third story of the superstructure. It's clear that the superstructure has some glass and stuff, some windows and things, especially on the top side. It has what appears to be some antennas still sticking out of the top of the superstructure. That's a good sign. That means that there might be a radio somewhere.
Yeah.
Brother Imperious,
Yes.
should we try to find the command deck? Them antennas up there indicate electronics to salvage.
Certainly. Lead on, Shinobu.
Is there gangways or stairways leading up to the upper levels of the superstructure?
Not on the outside, but there's clearly an interior of the superstructure.
Okay.
Which is where Dakota just came from and where Sin is standing next to.
When she mentions the logbook, maybe we should check and see what they have for records. Maybe that might give us a better indication where to go.
Yeah. All right, so you're going to join up with Dakota and Sin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll jump to Dakota and Sin. Sin, Dakota comes out with the logbook. And the others are sort of working on stuff and messing around and checking things out. What do you do when Dakota comes out? And Dakota, what do you do when you come out?
Seeing Caesar come out with the logbook, and she has no interest in that. So, but she looks and says, "Well, did you find anything else like food or any kind of weapons or anything?"
Dakota's just gonna open up the logbook to the part that talks about the storage bins, and without even looking at it, she's just gonna kind of hand it over and let Sin read it, and she's just kind of muttering to herself, "There's always robots. There's always robots. There's always robots."
Yes, it's usually are involved somehow. You're right.
Yes. So according to the logbook, it's port side storages. I know I said starboard earlier. I'm confusing you guys. I keep forgetting the sides of the ship. Remember my terminology? It's all messed up. Anyway, on the port side of the ship, those storage unit doors lead to some stuff. Now, it is in a weird language, which we're able to sort of guess at what it is. It appears that one of them contains some kind of alcoholic beverage. One contains meat stuffs. The other contains some vegetation stuffs. And then another one contains dried dairy stuffs. There's another dried goods storage inside that first floor superstructure at the end of the hall that goes from stern to bow of the ship, the front and back of the ship.
Can we hear refrigeration units still going?
You cannot.
The dried goods might still be okay if they were not exposed to the outside, but I'm not too sure about the rest of that stuff.
Oh, alcohol's still good.
Oh, the alcohol is good for all kinds of things.
Oh yes, whatever
Killing disease.
Disease, yes. Whatever Armageddon has been visited upon us, we know God is still with us because grains will still ferment.
Good times.
Sin will also go to Brother Imperius and say, well, when we leave here, on the other side over there, when I first come up, I saw one of those lifeboats that still was secure. Do you think maybe you could lower it, and we could tie it behind our boat in case we ever need it one day?
Oh, good idea, Sin. I agree.
Do you guys want to check out the storages? Sam,
I think so.
Dakota, and Sin, and Shinobu, who are not doing the salvaging of the gasoline.
Dakota's kind of interested in the antennas and the idea of getting a command room and stuff. She wants to get up to those electronics. She's looking to try to craft a hacking device.
Okay.
Yeah, Sin would be interested in going with Shinobu to like the dried. What you mentioned, the dried food unit.
Okay. So I am going to do a thing real fast where I'm going to track where everyone is as far as clusters go. I've got Skylar and Imperius working on the gasoline by the cranes. Okay. I've got Sin and Shinobu. Is that correct? And who
Going
else
for
is going
the-
to the command unit? Oh, and Dakota, right?
To the food units.
Oh, you're going to the food unit. Sorry. Sorry.
Yep.
Sin and Shinobu are looking for the dread goods.
Which those are in the interior of the ship.
Correct.
Right?
They're in the interior
The
of this,
dark bowels of the ship.
not the bowels of the ship. According to the logbook, they're in the back of the first floor of the superstructure.
I will point out of character that this boat set sail from Norway, and if we were in an Arctic situation, I'd be much more worried. But still,
Dread
I have a
goods.
flashlight if worse comes to worse.
Okay. And then Dakota and Sam, what are you guys doing?
Well, I want to go look at the electronics and stuff. I want to
Right.
go start heading to a command room of some sort.
Command room. Okay. Sam, are you going with Dakota?
Well, as I see everyone break up, I'm like, listen, boys and girls, we shouldn't be splitting up. There could be something dangerous down there.
But you're awfully noisy.
Oh, like they didn't hear that explosion. Anything that heard that knows we're up here, making a bunch of noise.
Yeah, that point.
Dakota kind of turns like a couple shades of red and like kind of just kicks something on the floor, like a piece of rat poo or something, and huffs off back towards the entrance she just came out of.
Okay. So she's by herself, going to the command room. But not necessarily there yet, just sort of over by the superstructure.
I don't appreciate.
Whoop. What? Okay. So Sam's by himself as well, or is he staying with
Now I'll
one
go with
cluster?
Dakota.
Okay.
I'm not going to leave. At least we're buddied up, so that's fine.
All right. I'm going to take a brief moment to take a bio break and give everyone a chance to get water and stuff if they need, and then we're going to get into the second part of this adventure.
Yay!
yay!
Woohoo!
Okay, we're pausing now. Okay, it's recording again. It's unpaused. I used to have a hold music thing. It's the GM hold music. I don't know, guys, if you're aware of that. But it's a song that's been around for quite a while. It's been around on the internet. In fact, you can't even find the source of it. It's just everywhere that you want to find it if you're looking for GM hold music. However, one of my videos, I had the GM hold music in between, with the pause, and it got flagged for copyright infringement by some group who apparently owns the background that was played in GM hold music. Now, the whole point of the GM hold music is that there's this song playing, and it's just kind of like a thing, and it's like, your GM is thirsty. You want to get your GM a drink. GMing is thirsty work. And it's like that while it's on hold, right? It's like, remember, dice rolling in your GM's abscess will not count. Like that kind of stuff, right? It's just really funny, but it got flagged, so I can't use it anymore.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though, like I said, you can't find the source of whoever made that piece of audio in the late 90s or whenever. It doesn't. It's just there's no record of that. Whoever made that. This is
So
like a
if you
meme.
know any good sound people, I can always do my robot voice for you and make you your own personal one.
that would be great. I actually, interestingly enough, the intro to these videos is actually from Oliver McNeil. He has a lot of his company apparently changes names. I'm not entirely sure, but right now it's from the Cthulhu Soundscapes, and he's already given me a thumbs up on using his stuff, especially if I like tag it in the like description of the video. So any of his music I just use for whenever, and I can totally use it, and he has no problem with that. So he told me it was fine. So that's what I use for a lot of my openings and stuff. But anyway, all right. So you guys are split up with Skylar and Imperius in one place, Sin and Shinobu in another, and Dakota and Sam in a third place. Let's go to Dakota and Sam. So, you guys are going to try to find the command room, or you just want to hang out pouting by the entrance to the superstructure?
Well, you said I'd be on the, I don't know what of a view I had from the beach, but you said I had a good kind of idea of the layout of the ship or kind of how to navigate it.
Yeah.
Would I have any idea of how to get up there?
Yeah, like it's clear that the superstructure has levels. That's pretty obvious to you, and so there's probably an internal staircase because there's certainly not really a like gangplank or stairway on the outside. But it definitely there's definitely a command center on the top, and there's entrances on the bottom, so someone would have to be able to go in and then go up. So there's either a really tall ladder on the inside or a staircase on the inside.
All right. Yep. So, yeah, just go right through the entrance. I'm going to lead, gun drawn.
Okay.
And yeah, try to find the stairs up.
So when you enter the interior of the structure, you see the same thing that Dakota's already familiar with. There's a bunch of blood everywhere. There's smear handprints. There's grime on everything. She was unable to track the blood, but you might have a different story if you wanted to do that. But otherwise, like, it's pretty obvious where she's been because, as I said before, the grime would be, like, moved. You can see, like, footprints in the grime and stuff and the blood and things that clearly match hers. Smear marks from handles and stuff. And there's the one handle, the far end of the hall, seems to have been taken apart. Probably her.
Sweet, yeah. Blood, yeah, and that's another day in the wasteland. So I just keep on going with single-minded, thought to find the stairs up to the tower.
Okay.
The top of this place.
In the hallway that goes from the port and starboard sides of the ship, that's weird. Okay, sorry. In the background, Discord told me that someone did something, but then I'm not seeing it. On the hallway that goes between the port and starboard sides of the ship, there's about midway, there's another small hallway. The storage is on either side of it, and then there's a staircase that goes up. However, there's also a door there, and it says something in some language you don't understand. But there's also the stairways. It's clear there's a stairway that goes up.
Does the door look like it's been opened recently?
It does not.
Well, then I ignore it, and I head up the stairs.
All right. Okay, so you start going up the stairs. You go to the second floor. There's a bunch of doors on either sides of the hallways. There's another hallway. So basically there's another hallway that goes, port to stern. And then there's some hallways on either side of that go front to back of the ship. And then you've got the staircase. Basically, you come out of one staircase. There's the loops around to go up a staircase to continue up. Dakota, Are you following?
Yep, sure am.
Oh, okay. Sam's in charge, after all. All right, Sam, what do you want to do? You want to go to the third floor?
Yeah, we're just going to continue up, going all the way to the top.
Okay. So you go to the third floor. Looks fairly similar to the floor that you just went down. Then it loops back up again. You keep going up. Go to the fourth floor. There's less rooms, significantly less rooms. You're clearly in a smaller structure. And then you have the staircase that goes up. The staircase that goes up the final way is pretty narrow. And when you get up it, you enter in just this command control room with all of the buttons and gizmos and machines that would control the ship, and a small room off to the side. And then there's just a little bit of a platform up there to be able to go out and look around the ship.
I would like to hold Sam back a second and put my finger up and tell him to be quiet, and I want to listen to see if I hear anything that sounds like it might be drones.
Okay. By the way, this staircase This narrow staircase is also covered in blood. The whole staircase was covered in blood, like the whole way around.
This
you
dried blood that has, that's been.
It's been here
okay.
for a while, yeah. So you listen for some drones? Dakota?
Yep, sure do.
Okay. So go ahead and make a perception roll for me. Let's see what you hear. Sam, you can also make a perception roll if you'd like.
I rolled an 82 on a 50, so no good.
Okay, you don't hear anything.
Yep. So, I did have a success with a
Okay.
46 under a 50.
Yeah, you don't hear any sounds that sound like any drones or anything moving up here in the wheelhouse. There's a little bit of a wind, and you hear like this faint creaking from what sounds like an exterior door, sort of just rocking. It's kind of the same noises you've heard throughout the rest of the ship. Nothing too weird. Yeah. You guys want to poke your head into the wheelhouse and go in?
All right. So I turn over to Dakota and say, "Oh, there, salvage what you need. We gotta get back to the others."
I guess I have been commanded to salvage what I need and get back to the others, so I'm going to go ahead and peek my head in and start going in. I'm already pulling tools out, getting ready.
Okay. There's a large window, so you look into this wheel room, this wheelhouse. It's a large room. There's a window. There's controls, like I said. There's a large window that looks out on the main deck of the ship. It's been sort of damaged, but it's not gone. Like, it's just there's some cracks on it. You could see what the others are doing. The wheelhouse, however, the interior, all of these components have been smashed and broken. All the control dials and levels and things have all been smashed, and the wires have been cut. Panels have been pulled off. There's just a whole lot of mess going on there. The radio room is directly to when you walk into the wheelhouse, it's just directly to your right. There's another little room in there, and it's clearly the radio room. Like the wheelhouse, everything inside the room has been smashed and broken and cut, including the microphones. There's a fire axe embedded in the electronics. But otherwise, you can still salvage all of these random component pieces, but everything clearly is not in any working order here.
Okay, I am going to salvage what I can from it then, and specifically I'm looking for things that will help me create a device that will allow me to hack drones.
Sounds good. Automatically, you're going to get a fire axe because you just have to pull it out of the machine.
I'm just going to hand it to Sam.
Yeah. Sam, you now have a fire axe.
Excellent. With my 15 strength, I will put it down.
Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and you can it's up to you. You can either make a salvage special stat roll with an increased salvage ratio, or you can try a mechanics roll and do the same thing. Just take stuff apart.
Well, I'm proficient in mechanics and not in
Then
my
that's
salvage
what
is
you
only
should
a
do,
52, so
yeah.
I will do a mechanics, and then I'm supposed to. Am I rolling advantage on it? What did you say?
Are you using tools?
Oh yeah,
Then
yeah, of
you are.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got an amazing success on command, so can I just point out things I've seen people salvage in the past?
Yeah, so you add 15 to her mechanics roll to take it apart.
Okay, so that takes my mechanics roll up to a 75.
Yep.
And at 75, I got a 26, so I got a great success.
Great. Oh man, now I'm gonna roll this for you because it's gonna be a lot.
Go for it.
Oh wait. I'm just gonna do this. This will be faster. I'm gonna roll d6s instead of d4s. 9, 9, and 4, 13. 13 plus 3, 16 component pieces off of that first attempt to take this thing apart. You do, however, also get one on top of that. You also gain just one. That's unfortunate. You just got a 1. One complex part, which is a piece of electronics. So a complex part is 4 component pieces that are together in one unit that by itself does nothing, but when combined with something else, it does something. So for example, like a spark plug, right? It's made of other little pieces, but it doesn't do anything by itself. But when you put it in like an engine, then it makes the engine work, right? So this is the kind of thing we're talking about.
Okay.
So you find a complex part as well.
Okay. So I'm
you've
up
got-
to 33 component parts total
and a complex part.
and a complex.
The drone command unit, to give you an idea, you could probably craft one with what you've got. I'm just going to look at the stats for that. Drone command unit is actually only made of 12 component pieces, one of which can be a complex part.
Okay. What else is up in here? Anything else look interesting for us?
You can continue to scout because you got a success. You can continue to do that until you get a failure, but it increases. You need a great success this next time to get anything, and then an amazing success to get anything, etc.
Okay, I'll give it another shot.
Sure, why not?
Okay, I got a 31 on my out of a 60, so I just missed a great success.
Well, if Sam's,
Can I add 5?
Yeah, if
I did
Sam's-
roll under my. I did roll under my command of.
Okay, so that would be a great success then.
Oh, okay. Yep, then great success.
Cool. Oh wait, I gotta do this again. 11. Oh, that wasn't very many this time. That was only 14. It was 16 before. It's 14 now. Yeah. But you find 14 more component pieces when you're scavenging through all of that, taking it apart.
Great.
Do you want to try one more time? You can still do it.
One more
but you
time,
get-
yeah.
You get amazing success. Sam, why don't you roll your command real fast so we get that number beforehand?
That is. I'm assuming it's success. It's 5 points, right? So I
yeah,
rolled a
each
7.
degree of success is 5.
Yeah, so a 7, which is amazing. I think
Wait, you
Is
got
that
a
the
007?
7. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
7.
Cool. So you add 15 to hers. So now she has to go roll under 75.
Woohoo!
Which makes her amazing success a little bit higher, which makes it easier for her.
I rolled a 2. 002.
That's amazing
Whoa.
success. I get to roll one more die here for you. Okay, so that's
1 point off of perfect success.
17, 24, 26. 26 component pieces that last time. Now you need to get a 001 in order to succeed. Do you want to try again, or do you want to just leave it be?
We'll just leave it be. I'm good.
I mean, you just got
I feel like I've wiped this place out pretty much.
Yeah. Pulling all of these random wires and random screws and dials and things, you managed to gather up quite a bit of stuff. I mean, this has been a pretty good salvage for you guys so far with the gasoline and all of these component pieces and potentially these dried goods, which leads me to the others. So we'll jump to them now. Do you guys have any last things you want to do while you're up here before I jump to them?
Sam's just getting impatient that after like the first time, I'm surprised she'd go in for the second time, but like as she like exposes things that I've seen before that are useful, I'm like, oh wait, grab that.
Yeah.
Oh, and that one too.
Yeah.
After that, I'd be like, all right, let's get out of here. Pick up the axe too.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Do
if
you need
nothing
me to
else,
carry
can
that
just-
for you, old man?
You're gonna hold that box and carry this axe?
I mean, it could.
Do I have 2 guns? Do I have 2 guns?
You may. Let's check your character sheet real fast. Sam has a 9mm. Just one 9mm.
Right. Yep. Axe in one hand, gun in the other. I'm good. I'll make her carry everything else.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
You know, the thing is, though, that you get that's fine. You get multi-attack with that gun, by the way. You can shoot twice with it. Most people can't do that sort of thing, but you can. All right. So jumping to you guys that are going for the dry goods. Don't worry, Skylar and Brother Imperius. You're going to have a chance to do some stuff other than just take apart the stuff. We'll get to you in a minute, though. Okay. Shinobu and Sin. You guys are going to check out the dry goods.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some of the other stuff like the beer, right?
Oh, definitely.
Which
But the right goods first. Food.
Okay.
Food.
So you want to go to dry goods first. All right. So you go to the dry goods store and find that it is locked. Crazy. Who'd lock a door to food on a ship in the apocalypse?
Yeah, Sin will look at Shinobu and go, well, I think I'd be a little bit better at trying to get us in here than you. I mean, I don't want to just see you break the door completely down.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds logical. I mean, breaking the door is not a bad thing. I can do that too.
Right? Oh, I was trying to figure out why everyone was so quiet. Turns out I turned down the volume on my headphones. I was going like, everyone got real quiet after the break. And then I just like looked down and was like, oh, that's what's happening. Okay, yes. So you can do a lockpick skill roll.
Okay.
The lockpick. Do you have tools for that? Hold on real fast. I think you might. You should if you don't.
I think it had like tools general or something, but I don't think it actually said lockpicks.
Tools,
But I mean,
you had tools crafting, so you have crafting tools. You don't have lockpick tools.
All right.
So yeah, so you don't have lockpick tools, but that's fine. You can still make the lockpick roll. It just gives you advantage if you had them.
That is a 34 out of 85.
Oh yeah.
It's not that complex of a lock. Look how quickly she got through it.
Yeah, you just kind of like. Because you got a great success, you also managed to remove 2 component pieces worth of stuff you can just take. Just yours.
All right.
Like the pin or something. It's like, oh, yeah, look at that. So you have 2 component pieces to add to your inventory, but you have opened the door to the dry goods. Flip to the dry goods. Dry goods storage. The dry goods storage contains 10 safe food units of several spices. Roll a salvage special stat for me real fast. Whichever one of you has the better special stat on that. Which is
1 second.
I've got a 42, so.
Okay. Not Sin then. Maybe.
I've only got a 45.
Okay, so you guys are basically the same. You can both roll and see whichever one of you does better. I'll accept that. Whoa, the sun came out.
72.
I got 32, so at least I passed.
Okay. Let's see. So, that is one of these. Okay, yeah, not very many, but there are 2 different kinds of spices in here. Just 2 units of the spices. These are basically just things that you can use to make spoiled food not taste bad. Edible but not yet. Edible but disgusting smelling food. You can spice it up with some spices. However, you do find, did I say 10 food units?
I believe that's 10 boxes of safe food units.
Yeah, 10 boxes of safe food units. And then you got 1 degree of success on salvage roll, so you find another, not this one. I'm going to roll this one. 3 food units. 3 food units of other stuff. So it's like a box that's like clearly unopened, and so everything's perfectly fine there. And then after you sort through some stuff, you find some, like 3 more food units in there of dry food goods.
Okay.
So that's relatively quick. You guys are able to get in there. It takes you a bit to sort through it all, but yeah, there's a lot of open things that may have spoiled, that seem like they've spoiled, like, that have clumped together or got hard or something like that. But that's what you find. You find 13 just completely safe food units. Do you want to roll again and see if you get more? You have to get
2 units of, plus the 2 units of spice?
Plus the 2 units of spices, yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll give it another shot, see if we can find anything else useful in there. Oh, 04.
Okay. Yes, indeed. 04 is an amazing success, right?
Yeah, 45. That's, 11, 12, 11?
Yeah.
11. Yeah, so I'm under that.
Okay, well, that's great. You got 12 more food units.
Oh, that box in the back there behind the 2 bad ones? Yeah, that one's good yet.
Wow, that was a really nice roll. I rolled 4 you guys and I got 12, so lucky you. Yeah, you totally find 12 more. So that's 25 food units you guys found raiding the storage. The dry goods storage.
On to the alcohol.
Yes.
I know we can trade that to people for all kinds of things.
Okay.
While Shinobu is doing that, you'll see Sin say, well, I'm not of age to drink that quite yet, and I'm going to go ahead and start taking these food units back to our meeting place. And she'll start taking the boxes back to, the edge of the ship.
Clever. Very smart. Very smart indeed. Okay, so you're going to take the food units back to the other ship.
Yep.
Okay.
We're not leaving them sitting around here. Something might happen between now and then.
Sin, I will get back to you in just a moment. Shinobu. You
Mhm.
get to the storage door. You have the logbook. You get to the storage door where it's indicated this is where the alcohol beverage substance is, based on your random old Norwegian language skills. Go door again. It's a locked storage. What do you want to do about that?
There's not much I can do about that.
Well, there are a couple things you could do.
I could bust it down, but
You
I
can
don't want
break
to
it
break
down,
the
or you
alcohol.
can pry it open.
I do have the pry bar. Yeah, let's pry this one open.
Okay. So you wedge it in there, and you're going to make a strength roll with advantage.
Strength. So strength of 50 with 2 rolls. Which is good, because that first one's a 92. And that one's a 002. Other end of the spectrum.
All right. So you just go tink and just open it up. It doesn't break anything, so you can like reseal it if you wanted to. But you don't have like this problem where you accidentally crash into it and break things. You open it up to reveal a still of some kind. The tank that holds the final liquid product is clearly 3/4 full, but the tap part has been broken or there's missing. You're not sure how you can get to the liquids, but if you manage to build something, craft something, or find a piece in one of the rooms, maybe you could find the tap. But otherwise, there is definitely a liquid in there, and it does smell like alcohol.
I know some people who know some things. I think I should bring one of them in.
Is this Skylar and Imperius you're talking about?
Yeah, the people who can make things that work. Yeah, the things that really work.
Cool. We'll jump to them then, and then we'll come back and pull you in, and then we'll go to Sin. And then, well, we'll go to Sam, and Dakota, depending on how I feel.
Okay.
Skylar and Imperius. So you guys take some time. You're removing the gasoline containers, or the gas holders for the devices, the cranes. You managed to get them free, and you take them off, and you have them. It guys took you a while. What else do you want to do while you're working on that? Or anything else you want to do before you start trying to carry that stuff back to the ship?
Could we look at the components where the cranes are to see if we can take them apart?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you want to start taking apart the crane components?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
For sure.
Yeah, so that's going to be some mechanic rolls.
All right.
I am not proficient in mechanics.
At this point, I will, in a metagame situation, point out again: Norwegian ship, broken refrigeration units, accident communications. We're in the post-apocalyptic The Thing movie. I'm just waiting, Scott. Oh well, I made her dead even 70 out of my 70 mechanics.
Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and take off 1d, or it's 2d4 plus 1 worth of components. That you're taking
Okay,
off of it.
I guess I could have made. I guess I can pull up my tools for the next one, which I'll try once more after this. I'll pull up my tools.
Yeah.
I have them for advantage.
Do you
Did you change advantage? Is it rolling twice over an hour, or is it keep the one roll 2 die 10?
You're gonna roll 3 d10s, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And
Okay.
keep
So
the better one.
which was I thought other people. It felt like other people were doing a full reroll. That's what I'm asking. So I wasn't sure if you
I
explained.
mean, it
advantage
kind of
before.
comes out basically the same. Either
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
I'll try once more and shoot for half.
Okay.
Which
well, did you want me to roll for the?
Oh, yeah,
amount of
so
component
go ahead,
pieces, or did
sure.
you want to do it? Okay.
You can go.
All right, that's 7 component pieces. that you took
7?
off on the- 7, yeah, the first.
Okay, and then this time I hit. I was shooting for a 35, but I got a 6, like a 006, with advantage. And I'll call it done after that. Whatever I get.
Uh, 20.
Okay, so 27 total. Okay.
Cool. So
At
you
that point
take
I can-
what?
Oh, I said I can call her done at that point, and let's move this and the gas closer to again, put it down where we can get it easily on the boat, and then I'm guessing we'll see Shinobu coming for help at this point.
Yeah. So you
I like
guys
this
have
idea of
gathered.
collecting our goods.
You guys have gathered a decent amount. I think 5 liters of gasoline is what I said before, plus 27 component pieces of stuff that you've taken off. This is very good for you. These component pieces, for those that are new, I think Sin and Sam, both of you guys are new. These are the things you use to craft and build stuff. So having this much stuff means you guys can craft things that you need on the fly. Like, for example, if you wanted to create some kind of device to like zip line down to the other ship, you could totally do that with the random component pieces you have. So you guys have gathered up a decent amount of stuff. However, before you guys leave the crane, right about the time that Shinobu comes walking up to you, make a perception roll for me.
Both of us?
Both of you, yeah.
Well, my 70 wasn't good enough, apparently. The dice turned on me hard. I'm going to burn a luck point.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 75 out of 50.
That's a little better. 65 out of 70.
Okay, so you just barely get it.
Yeah.
You don't hear anything at first, and then you catch something right at the end. You just get lucky enough to catch it. You're like, you hear the sounds of what appears to be some movement down inside the hold, and the only reason you hear it is because it echoes a bit, and so you catch it just when Shinobu walks up. Shinobu, you walk up. I have no idea that they just heard a sound, and you say something or do something with them. What do you do? They've got all these pieces and parts and things that they're carrying.
Brother Imperious, I have a curious situation. We have some stuff to salvage, but we need a way to drain it off. I have a container, but there's no tap or no drain port to drain it out of the container. Could you come have a look and see if you can make something to do that?
Well, certainly. We'll likely need this for communion.
Yes, communion. Yes, that's what we use it for. I have a canteen we can drain some of it into. We may need to find a bigger container for the rest of it.
Well, Skylar, you want to come with us? And I will put out, I heard something down there, but I'm not sure what it was. But if we proceed carefully.
Yeah, I will come with, and I will actually walk in front just in case anything happens.
Okay.
Or second behind Shinobu because he knows where he's going.
Yeah, and you guys are headed in the general direction of the ship anyway, which is where you were going to go with all that stuff you've been gathering. So you guys start heading that way.
I'll lead you in and mention that you go down that back hallway and out the door at the end of it. That's where our boat's resting. And this
well, you can go around the outside
here.
of the superstructure to the back of the boat too. You don't have to go inside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then the room over here has the communion fluid. That's it.
Yeah. And you guys can clearly see it. The door's still open. He didn't close it behind himself or whatever. So there's clearly some kind of container in there that's holding something, which he's claiming is communion fluid. It certainly smells like it's communion fluid. Wink, wink. Okay, so you guys, Skylar, you're carrying stuff, and Brother Pierce, do you want to put stuff down, or do you just want to try to like figure this out real fast?
I'll bring some component pieces with me, but we'll I looked at my inventory. I have a couple of glass bottles that I'll hand to Skylar if he wants to make some kind of Molotov cocktails.
Okay. So Skylar, are you gonna stay at this container and wait for Brother and Priest to come back to craft some stuff, or are you gonna go and put stuff on the boat?
I'll go and put stuff on the boat. That way we're not being burdened by any carrying stuff.
Okay. So Brother Tiberius, are you also going? All right, Imperius, not Tiberius. Imperius, are you going to the boat?
Yeah, we'll come back. I'll stick with Skylar and Shinobu for now, and we can always come back with this. I'll make sure the stuff's safe in the boat, but keep enough components with me to craft things on the fly if I need to.
Okay. And Shinobu, then you're going to the boat?
Sure, I'll go with them for the trip. Make sure everything gets there.
Okay, so Sin, Skylar, Brother Imperius, and Shinobu are all at the boat. Dakota and Sam, you guys were up in the command center. You got a bunch of stuff, and then you decided to head back down. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the plan. To head back down to the deck and check in with everybody. And if so, we want to drop our components off on our ship.
Okay, Dakota and Sam, as you're going down the stairs toward where you guys came from, you've been all through all this before, you hear movement in front of you in the stairwell between the second and third floors of the superstructure. What do you do?
Does it sound like is something heavy? Like, is it putting weight on the stairs?
Yes.
Then in that case, I hold up my hand to go, hey, be quiet. Something's coming. And I point my gun in that position. If I see anything other than my allies, I will pull the trigger.
Okay. Dakota?
I am gonna get quiet and duck down, and I think I have a bow, right?
Yeah, I think you have a bow. Let me double check.
Yeah, I've got a.
Yeah, it looks like you have a recurve bow and a combat knife. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm gonna pull my bow out and
just
an arrow ready.
Just to clarify, somebody pointed out to me that I mistakenly wrote the wrong numbers for the threshold for the combat knife. It's technically not the wrong ones. If you were to throw the combat knife, your threshold would be 75. If you use it to stabby stab, it's 15. Just so you're aware.
Oh, okay.
Because it's got the threshold says 75, and then the one half says 7, and then 3. It's because I accidentally wrote the wrong numbers in. But
Yeah. Is there enough room for me to pull my bow out in here, or is it pretty tight and I should throw the knife instead?
It's tight. It might be rough with the bow. Throwing the knife might be a better option for sure.
I'll prepare to throw the knife then.
Yeah, I mean, if you back up into one of the hallways in the superstructure, you'll have more space to be able to use the bow, but in the stairwell, not so much.
At what level is this happening?
It's between the second and third. So you guys just left the third, started down to the second, and you hear the movement in front of you. The staircase bends at each sort of halfway up, and it's at that you guys are kind of near that bend, and you can hear it down on the wall.
Do I know from the outside, seeing the outside superstructure? Do I know if there's balconies?
There are
from
balconies.
The second.
Yeah.
Second. Okay.
So not the second floor. The third floor has the balconies where the platforms where the emergency lifeboats were at.
Okay. I start waving to back up as I just kind of watch that staircase and move us towards that lifeboat that I know is still intact. And it can be lowered, right? It has
correct. Yeah.
Pulleys and stuff, cranks to lower it.
Just a little hand boom to pull it out and drop it directly down the side of the boat.
Okay, excellent.
I'm gonna follow him and climb into the lifeboat.
Okay. So you guys go back. You just start backing up, which was pretty smart. Do you guys have a flashlight or
Yeah, I do.
A glow sticks? Okay, cool. As you're backing up, you back up onto the third floor, and you're gonna head toward where you're pretty sure the entrance to that platform is. I mean, you've got that pretty well memorized because you sat and stared at the ship for a while. But as you back up, around the bend, up the staircase comes not 1, not 2, not 3, but a lot of zombies. Human things with flesh peeling from their faces and hands. They've got extremely long nails, and they're clearly coming up the stairs at you. They're moaning. They're being pretty quiet, but they are definitely headed toward you right now.
Do they bar the way to the lifeboat?
They do not. They're coming up the staircase. So you guys are backing up. You'll be fine getting to the lifeboat. I'm just telling you what's coming up the stairs in front of you.
Got it. Seeing these creatures, I yell out. Have we seen zombies? Has this been something we've dealt with before?
I mean, yeah, you probably, at least one of you has definitely survived zombies, I believe. I believe it's Skylar. Yeah.
Yep.
Lived through the zombies, and you've run into them. It's not uncommon for anyone to have run into any kind of monsters, all the monsters in the apocalypse.
Is there a name for them that not zombies, but things unnatural things that we call in this world? I'm just going to call them unfriendlies, if that's
fine.
All right.
Whatever you want to call them.
I just don't know if there's nomenclature that would be appropriate for something like this.
Yeah, there's not lore like that in the books. I know in one game session someone was calling them Zambos, and the people call them, they're different things, Z's and stuff like that.
All right, yep, unfriendlies, go! And I start screaming it out to the lifeboat, run!
Okay.
And
Okay, do you guys want to take any shots of them as you run, or do you just want to run?
No, I don't want to. But as soon as I get into the lifeboat, I'm going to pull my bow out and get an arrow prepped and ready and aim it at the door so
Okay.
that if something comes through, I can shoot it in the head.
Got it. Looks like I mistakenly said third floor. We'll just say this was between the third and fourth floor. The fourth floor is where the boats are, apparently. That's fine. We'll just say this is between the third and fourth floor. Doesn't matter where it was. Because you guys are going to the boats. So you run toward the boats. You get outside. The platform is pretty narrow, but you can try to launch it. I'm not going to make you... Just make a luck roll to just make sure you don't slip and fall off. I'll give you advantage on it because you were aware that there was going to be a boat out there, so you don't just rush out onto a small platform. This is just more of a thing to find out what happens when you get out there on the platform. So roll luck.
Yeah, thankfully for advantage. That is a success.
I got an 11, so that's a success.
All right, so you're both fine. You get out on the platform. You don't worry about it too much. You get out there and you start trying to shove the boat off and move the arm. The arm moves freely. It's not like a thing that you need to do like crazy, electronic technicalities or anything like that. It's just an arm that like goes out. So you push the boat out, and you can lower it from the inside. Do you jump in to lower it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured you were going to do. So that is what I'm going to tell the others. Skylar, Sin, Brother, Imperius, and Shinobu. You guys have just gotten off the boat from dropping the stuff that you just dropped. You turn around to head back toward the boat, and you see Dakota and Sam suddenly swing out off the fourth floor of the superstructure on a lifeboat and start lowering themselves down.
Dude, did I see any of them as I'm doing this? Like as we're...
Yep.
Because I'm still screaming, unfriendlies! Unfriendlies!
Yeah, okay, so you guys hear him screaming, unfriendlies, unfriendlies, which is his code, clearly, for zombies. Or something.
Or bad guys of some sort.
Yeah.
Mhm.
At which point, which of you other three are combat type people? Seeing as I've been kind of out of the rest of this.
No, I'm pretty
None of yous?
combat. Yeah, not even.
Uh,
Got next?
You got next. Okay.
Skylar is probably the next in line for combat types between you two. So
Okay.
Yeah. And you don't want me fighting, but you want me with you. Let's put
Okay.
it that way.
Okay. Come on, guys. We got to get in there, see what's going on. And I'll draw my katana and start back in there to... I know the stairwell they went up. It wasn't too far from where we were.
So where by the way, where is their boat going to land? Is it going to be in the water?
it will land on the sandbar next to the ship. It can be pushed from there into the water. In fact, it will probably just drift into the water anyway, because that was all sort of weak, slippery sand, wet sand anyway.
Would we know that can we see them lowering the boat into the water to know that they're going to be kind of out of danger?
Yeah, you can see that because they're swung out over the side, they're going to drop down and basically just sort of, if there was a current, which you assume there is because this is sort of a beach and it gets closer to the water, etc., it will pull back and be right next to your boat. So they will probably escape from danger based on what you can see.
Yeah, from what she can see, then Sin's going to yell at Shinobu and go,
"Yeah,
why are you running up there? I mean, I think they're going to be okay. We don't need to put anybody else in danger."
And as you say that, out through that entrance to the stern, the one that I forgot about earlier on, out of that door rushes not one, not two, but 20 zombies.
Holy crap.
These guys are a bit faster moving than the ones that were going up the stairs. So, throwing you into combat, because that's how this works, the initiative order is already predetermined by your character's initiative stat. So, in the order that already exists, it's going to go Sin, then Dakota and Sam, who are also part of this. They're just in a lifeboat. Then Shinobu, then some other stuff, then Josiah and Skylar, and then some other stuff. But I won't say what that other stuff is because I'm in control here. Go ahead.
Sin is going to.
Okay.
I mean, she's got enough instinct to know that when they're overwhelmed. I mean, probably from previous stuff. So she's going to try her best to get back to their boat.
Okay. Sure. So when you go to when it's your turn, which is it is now, you get to take 2 complex actions and then a reasonable number of sort of free actions. Complex actions are a list of different things, which are things like taking aim, moving, attacking, trying to maybe grab some stuff from the deck, drawing weapons, things like that. You can take 2 of them. However, you can't attack twice unless you have a special ability that says you get to attack twice, or you have a weapon that allows you to attack twice, like an auto rifle will allow you to attack twice, for example. So you want to move back toward this ship. Then you could do that with 2 movement actions to get across the bridge and onto your other ship.
Yep.
Because you have to get through the bridge. Is that what you want to do?
Yep, that is what she's doing. She's retreating.
Cool. Sin moves back to the boat. Dakota, you're in a lifeboat being lowered toward the water, and it is your action.
Okay, so I am going to. Can we stop the lifeboat like even with the deck of the ship and kind of go
Yes, you
from
can.
the
Yes, you
lifeboat
can.
to the deck?
Mhm.
Okay,
Most
so
certainly.
I'm going to. I see the zombies coming out of the doorway and stuff though too, right?
Yes, you do.
Okay, I'm going to. Let's see. I want to either jump onto the deck and then shoot a zombie when the boat stops, or if the boat's not going to get there until like the next round or something, then I guess I'll just shoot from where I'm at and try to shoot a arrow down into something.
Okay. So the question becomes, are you going to help lower the boat then? Because you could speed it up if you're helping.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Yeah. I was just something I thought of. I was like, if you help with that, then it should speed that up quite nicely. I just shared in the chat, if for those of you that want to know, like the little chart that I made on what you can do in combat. So you have like little cheat sheet or little reference sheet for you. Cool. All right, so you're going to help lower the boat, so that's fine. We'll go ahead and speed that up. That means you guys can move a decent amount. So we'll get to Sam, who's next. Sam, are you going to do some stuff? Are you going to help lower the boat? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, the mechanics of this is just like 2 pulleys that we work kind of in tandem to lower it, like one side of it.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm envisioning here.
Yeah.
So I think we just me and Dakota work in tandem to lower the boat.
Okay.
She kind of says that she wants to bring the boat level with the first level, and I look at her like she's crazy, but that's
That's fine.
I'm like, let's just get the boys on, come on, and I gesture them to like get on the boat with us, and we can escape out of here.
That's fair. That's actually fair. So yeah, you can. So the 2 of you together as your actions can definitely lower the boat to that edge of the other, of the main deck, right? So you do that easy because that's what you're both doing as your actions. That's totally cool. Shinobu, there are a bunch of zombies coming out of the door in front of you. Your friends are like coming level to the main deck. You have a boat behind you can retreat to. What do you want to do?
Having seen zombies before and probably fought a few, how disastrous of numbers does he feel that 20 zombies is to this group?
Pretty strong. I mean, right now there are 6 of you. That sort of outnumbers you 3 to 1, plus a few more. So you, as an experienced pit fighter kind of person that you are, having fought in the Thunderdomes for food, you're well aware that fighting 2 people at once is something that most people are not quite experienced with, and they probably will get overwhelmed anyway. And in this case, there are 3 per. You're hoping that like at least one of your team is definitely not in the fray, but if the rest of your team does, it's going to be bad for them. Because zombies just get 1 bite in, there's a chance that your team gets infected.
Yeah.
You are, however, quite experienced in fighting multiple opponents at the same time.
Yes, and that's kind of what I was looking at. I'm going to step out in front of the rest of them, take a defensive stance with the katana out, and say, "Everybody in the boat," and give me some covering fire when I go to get in.
Okay. Do you want to take a shot at any zombies, or just because that's just a movement and then a shout? That's a free action. So
Okay.
Movement is a regular action. A combat action. You can do one more. You can attack. You can aim. You
Seeing
can
what I have for
set yourself up.
I think all my stuff is melee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm not throwing or shooting anything with a ballistic skill of 15.
Right. But so you moved forward, right?
Basically, just in front of everybody else between
Oh,
them and
okay. So you didn't approach the zombies. You didn't step into fray with the zombies.
No. Just
Okay.
put myself between to be the defensive wall.
That's fine. You can. I'll say then that you could also, if you wanted to, because I'm assuming that you're trying to be ready to defend the rest of your team, hold an attack until someone gets within range, and then try to attack them. Is that right?
Yeah, with my katana up, just ready for like an
Okay.
instant strike when it comes through.
Absolutely works for me. And that would still also allow you to do like any kind of dodging or riposting that you need to do after that. So
Okay.
it wouldn't affect that. Okay. So. Okay. Now it is. This is Brother Imperius, who's the Jisai on my thing. Brother Imperius, you have your friends. They just met. They just came to the main deck. You've got the zombies coming in for you and all that other stuff. What do you want to do?
Okay, so the question is, can I use a move to get onto the plank back to the boat and stay within close range of Shinobu? From where I am?
No. Well, because if you move away from Shinobu, you automatically leave close range, right?
Okay, okay.
Right.
So what
you guys are currently within touching distance of each other, which makes you at close range. But if you
which is
move
close
away
range.
from,
So before I move, then I will hold out my hand, pull out my flask, which is my holy book.
I gotcha.
Little shot, and he'll mutter some words and go, "Remember Shinobu, he is with you. He's with you always." And does my thick-headed work with rolling resolve for this?
Yes, it does.
Beautiful.
That's the beauty of the design of that character.
Then that is a critical, not a critical, 2 levels of success.
Okay, great success.
And I throw a blessing on Shinobu, which, if I'm understanding this, you take no damage for 1 action phase.
Yep.
I
Shinobu
will
is
bless
immune to
Shinobu,
damage.
and I will now spend my action to get back down the gangplank. So ideally, I can fight defensively behind Shinobu, keep making him safe, and back up behind him.
Okay.
Yeah. So any damage that you take for this action phase, which will be the next action phase, rather than unless some zombies get to you, you are immune to it. Right. Well, actually, I guess it would be until Josiah's next action or Brother Imperius' next action. So yeah, you're good for a bit. Okay, Skylar. Looks like Brother Imperius said some words, did some things, and then backed off. But Shinobu has stepped in front of you, and you are standing there looking at those most hated of enemies, the Zambos, the zombies.
I want to light a flare and throw alcohol.
You're going to light a flare and throw alcohol at them?
Yes,
Okay.
and then
Yeah, that's two actions.
well, okay, so
Because
actually,
lighting flare, I think says. Let me double check. It should say that it takes an action to light it, but maybe it doesn't. Provides imagery and light. Causes heavy. Nope, I didn't write that in, but it does take. That is an action to light it.
okay. Is there a way I can throw the flare and the alcohol together?
Not really. Those are two different throwing. Because you. I
Okay.
mean, I guess. Whoa! What did I do? I messed something up.
Oh.
I froze the video. That's fine. We're all good. Okay. Yeah, you couldn't really throw both of them. That would just create some sort of weird chaos in your mind.
Okay.
You could throw one.
Hold on to it until the zombies are in the alcohol splash.
Okay, so I'm going to throw the alcohol
Okay.
and hold on to the flare
Okay.
until
So
they get closer.
you're going to want to roll agility roll for me to see if you hit the target that you're hitting. You're going to hit the ground in front of them, or do you want to hit a zombie?
I'd much rather hit the ground in front of them.
Okay. Then
Maybe do splash.
that's a bit easier because the ground in front of them is like not moving and it's just there. So you're going to get advantage on the roll to see if you hit your target, and then you're just going to roll your agility.
Cool, because my agility is 15.
Yeah. You're not super agile. You're not the throwing character.
I'm gonna burn a luck.
Okay.
Because those were both horrible. They were both 40s.
Okay.
That's not any better. That's 45.
Okay. The alcohol still splashes on the deck. It's just not exactly where you wanted it to be. It'll probably still do something, but definitely not near the effectiveness that you were hoping for. Which for you is bad because you're intending to burn stuff, which is what you're really good at.
Right. Makes me sad.
You'll kill some zombies for sure, but not all of them, or not many of them. But some.
For sure.
Okay. The zombies start crushing forward towards you guys, and they move almost in unison. Skylar, as a person who is familiar with zombies, go ahead and roll an academic skill roll with advantage for me. So it's just going to be your intelligence is what you're aiming for with advantage.
With advantage.
Yeah.
At intelligence. Ouch. I just barely made that. It's a 39 out of 30.
Wait, you 39 out of 30?
So yeah, because mine.
It's a failure then.
Yeah, it's a failure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not normal for them to be acting this way, but you don't have any idea why. They are definitely moving in unison, which signals to you that something might be wrong here, as in, or something is different. Now, you know that zombies, when they start grouping up, they start to move more together, and they coordinate actions a little bit better. They're harder to kill when they're in groups like this. But this is even more coordinated, and that is not a good sign. They press in toward all of you guys. Okay, so Sin is too far back. Sam and Dakota are on the boat. Shinobu, 2 zombies move within attack range to you. They go to attack you. Firstly, though, you have an action.
And I'm going to try to strike with my katana.
Okay.
To take one of them down.
So you're going to roll your blades attack, and I'm going to roll the dodge for the zombie. And we'll see which one of us does the better degree of success.
Okay. 40. 70.
Oh, that's the drone stats.
Blades. Well, that's a success.
Yeah, the threshold should be listed on your character sheet next to the weapons, like information.
Yep. So it was 40. I needed 35 to get to a second degree of success. I didn't quite get there.
Okay, so just a degree of success, just one. The zombie got a 49 on the dodge roll, which is also a success, but ties go to the attacker, which in this case is you, because you were the one that struck, so you hit.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
This says I have reach, 2 hands, and unbalanced. I can't throw the katana.
Yeah,
2 hands.
You can throw the katana. You just probably will not do a very good job. 2 hands just means that you have to use 2 hands to use it. It requires 2 hands, but it has reach, which means it can hit things at short range, which is probably when you hit this thing, rather than at close range.
Okay. I do not see damage.
The damage is E. Yeah, so E is the damage, which is 1d8 plus 7.
Okay. So we will roll that. That is a 6 plus 7, 13.
13. Wow, okay. Well, that zombie dies. So you do something to it. What is it you do?
Being partially decomposed and kind of sloshy to start with, diagonal descending strike right from the shoulder, right shoulder coming out of the left hip. Just take the entire top half off in a diagonal slice.
Cool. And then the other one, so you get this slice. The other one steps in to attack you. It's going to make an attack, and as you know, that means you get to make a defensive roll.
Okay. Which roll? Because I also have parry listed here.
Parry would probably be your best option. You can parry or dodge. In this case, you probably want to parry.
Parry and repose.
Yeah, so riposte, you can do that, which is like a counterattack essentially.
Okay.
So you sort of parry and then attack, but it costs 3 initiative to do that.
On my next round?
Yeah, it would suck 3 away. So you have enough. You could pull that if you wanted to. You have.
So I could.
because the way that you remember it, like there's 9 is your number, and then I'm gonna -5 for this next action phase. You would have 4 left. So if you did that, you would have only 1 left, which is fine.
Which would still let me attack one more time.
You'd still attack one more time. You just get shunted in the initiative order.
Okay. So that was a success.
Okay. And that was with the riposte?
Riposte, yes.
Okay. All right. So it failed. So therefore, you managed to riposte just fine. So go ahead and roll damage to this zombie.
Which is, again, the D8 plus 7?
Yes, that is correct.
That was a 2 plus 7 for 9.
Okay. So you cut into this one pretty good, but not enough to kill it. So it's still alive, but you cut into it. The press continues forward. Skylar, you were also right there.
Yes.
A couple of zombies. I'm going to let you know how many that is right now. 3 of them break from Shinobu, who is taking on the 2, and they're coming at you. Why don't we roll luck to see if these guys have alcohol in them?
Okay, roll luck. That is a that is a 23 out of 50.
Okay, so these guys, these 3 zombies that have come up on you, luckily for you, are covered in alcohol. They're gonna try to swipe at you and bite at you. Let's see how well they do. They're gonna make an attack. You're gonna make a defense. So your defensive actions are going to be to dodge, to parry, or to riposte. You could full dodge if you wanted to throw some strength into it. You'd remove 5 initiative and you'd like dive out of the way. You do have that, but you won't be able to do anything the next action phase. So you could full dodge or riposte if you wanted to, but you could also just try to dodge them.
Yeah, I'll just dodge them.
Well, parry, I think, is probably going to be a better option. You're good at fighting again. Yeah. Okay, so what happens is when each one attacks, right, we're going to roll the defensive, and we're going to pair the degrees of success. Now, if you, each time you do that, so the first time it's fine, the second and third times, however, you're going to have disadvantage on those rolls. So just throwing it out there for you.
Okay.
And this is why fighting multiple assailants is not a good thing. Okay, so firstly, the first zombie is going to try to take a clawing attack at you. Yeah, you're going to have to roll the dodge. Tell me how well you did.
I rolled a 47 out of 60.
Okay, that's just a success, right?
Yes.
So the zombie rolled 005, which is an amazing success. So you got hit. You got clawed for 6 damage. However, now is when we talk about your armor. You are wearing some armor.
Yes.
So that 6 damage goes to your armor, and it reduces that armor number. So your armor, I think, is, 8, maybe? 6 or 8? Yeah, okay. So it's 8. So you're going to -6 from that 8. You still have 2 armor remaining. It clawed through, rended through your armor vest. I think you are wearing a Nomex Kevlar jacket. Yeah. So it just cuts through your fireman's jacket, shredding it. And then this second one is going to attack you. Same deal. We're gonna roll. I'm gonna roll. You're gonna roll. I'm gonna roll, and we're gonna compare them. This is a great success on my end.
All right, that's gonna be 52 out of 60.
So just a regular success. You get hit again.
Ouch.
For 3 damage, which is 1 over your armor now, right? Because you have 3 armor left, or 2 armor left. 1 over. So now you're going to take 1 damage. 1. Your character has taken 1 HP damage, and your armor is gone.
Okay, so that brings me down to 27 health.
Okay. And then the third and final attack over here. Remember, you have disadvantage.
Yep.
It's just a success on my end. These are getting increasingly higher numbers each time I roll.
That doesn't help me because that was a 97.
Okay. All right. So you take this one is also a thing, but this is a bite. Ooh, ow. Ow. 7 damage that you're taking. It is also a bite, so you will also have to make an immunity roll.
I'm guessing my oxygen mask doesn't help with that.
Actually, it does. You get advantage.
Okay.
It shouldn't work that way, but that's how it works.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's not immunity. Where's that at? Oh, there it is. Never mind, I found it. With advantage. No, I failed that, but I'm going to burn a luck, actually.
Probably a smart idea.
I'm not messing around with this.
Oh, hey, you know what? We didn't think of something. It's fine. Just go ahead and roll your thing, and then I'll tell you what we missed. And this is mostly on my end. I know the character better.
I just made that 64 out of 65.
So I forgot that your character is a zombie killer. You actually had advantage on your defensive actions against zombies. Sorry, I forgot about that.
We're remembering that for next game.
We are remembering that for any action phase following this and any further game.
Exactly.
You should have had advantage on all of those rolls. I just remembered that, and I was like, oh, whoops.
Okay.
All right, remember that next time. My fault. However, you've taken some damage and you succeeded, so you're shoving this thing off of you as it's biting. You took the damage from its bite, but it didn't. You don't think it got through. You know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So, back up to the top. Sin. You we're minusing 5 from everyone's initiative, so you now have an initiative of 9, puts you still at the top. Sin, what do? You have things you can do.
She's back on their ship, but is there like a group that's still moving in that's kind of away from her party members?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. There's a lot of these guys coming out this door.
Yeah. She's going to, try to take aim at a group that's probably, whatever, far enough behind.
Mm-hmm.
And she pulls out of her pack. You see her pull out this, she talked earlier about she was too young to drink. But she pulls out this liquor bottle and she unstoppers the top and it's got a rag she stuffed in it. And I'm going to use one of those Molotov cocktails to throw towards a group of them and try to set them on fire.
Sounds like a great idea. So go ahead and roll your throw, which in this case is 85 for your character.
67.
Okay, that's a success. You managed to hit.
And I believe that says a D6 plus 3, right?
That's the damage you do for it. Yeah.
Yep. I rolled a 3, so 6 total.
Okay, and it burns for. It's going to be 3 rounds that's going to burn. That's 3 whole combat rounds that's going to burn.
All right.
So you effectively you hit 3 of them. And then you're doing 6 damage to them. So 3 of them get lit on fire. They're burning now. They take some damage. We will see what happens when that burning continues. But that's what happens right now. Do you want to do anything else?
No, she's just kind of, staying back on their boat out of the way,
Okay. Makes sense. Dakota, you're now level with the main deck. And your friends are starting to have to fight these zombies. What do you want to do?
As soon as we're level, Dakota is going to pull her bow out and she is going to I don't get a multi-attack. She's going to go ahead and shoot at one of the zombies.
Okay. You don't have multi-attack, but hey, I'm going to give you, because I messed up with a previous character. Do you want to say that you want to take an opportunity to hide a bit on your boat and take a
I
shot?
was going to ask if I could kind of
You could.
peek up around the edge and stay hidden so I get that little bow stealth bonus thing.
You absolutely can. I'll allow it. Because
I'm small. I'm only 12.
Yeah, you're a little one. Why not?
Exactly.
Plus, there's
Okay.
probably a tarp and stuff on this boat anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what am I rolling for then?
Just gonna roll stealth first. That's your first action to roll stealth.
Okay, stealth.
Is based on your agility.
Oh yeah, I got a success on that.
Okay, so the success means that you are hidden, and they have to get more than a success to see you. So you are technically considered stealthed.
Okay, and so now I'm going to shoot one of them through the head.
You can do a called shot to the head?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a go.
All right, so you're going to give yourself disadvantage on your shot to do the called shot vital. And you have to get a great success to get the bonus from that.
Yeah, I'll give myself disadvantage and see how it goes.
Okay.
And what's the DC +2 mean? Is that the damage dice gets a +2 then?
Yeah, so what it is, when you're stealthed, the damage code goes up to. So the recurve bow is currently average. So A.
Okay.
It would go up to M, making it 2d6 + 3 rather than 2d4.
Okay.
If you succeed at getting a great success on your called shot vitals, it'll go up another 2, putting it at 2d8 + 7.
Okay, give it a shot.
Yeah, so you just straight up kill things that way.
Okay. I got a 42, so I got a success. I didn't get a great success. So then I get, so it goes up from an A to an M, you said, so then I get 2d6 + 3 damage.
Yeah, it should be 2d6 + 3. You did a pretty good job. Let me go ahead and roll to see if the things... Oh, they don't get to dodge. You're stealthed. Haha. Go ahead. Yeah, just roll your damage. They can't see you.
That is 7 damage.
Okay, 7 damage. Cool. 2d6 + 3, 7 damage. All right. So you do 7 damage to this to a zombie. It penetrates. Let's see if the zombie does not see you. So you're fine. You're still stealth according to that zombie. So the way that stealth works, you are still stealth. You remain stealth unless something happens and you have to change. Okay.
Now, with the called shot,
Mhm.
I know it took the damage up, but since I was doing headshot, is that something special?
No, you needed to get a great success to have hit the head. So you missed the head. You hit the shoulder or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have to hold on 1 second. Yes, it looks like Brother Tiberius and Shinobu. So Brother Tiberius and Shinobu have swapped places in my display here. So mid-broadcast, I'm swapping people around again. All right, you guys are locked in. I don't know how that happened, but you guys swapped places. Now you're back. You're fine.
Apologies, that might have been me. My connection flickered briefly there.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. But you're good. I switched it. So people at home are going to see this weird thing where you guys are in different places and swap back. Yeah, it's fine. All right, good job, though. You did do some damage to a zombie. You're bringing down the numbers. You're helping out. That zombie is trying to figure out what happened, so it's turned away from the rest of them. Sam, you're level with the main deck. There are a bunch of zombies over there by your friends.
Yeah, are they heading towards our boat over the gangplank, or are they heading towards our boat?
They're heading toward your boat over the gangplank, like the main boat, not your lifeboat.
Okay, in that case, I just, we hold it level there so I can shoot twice, and I shoot at the one that's considered most dangerous to my allies.
Okay. So your first shot will be fine, and then your second shot will have disadvantage because it's a multi-attack, but you can do that. You're allowed to do that. Most everyone else is not allowed to. So you're going to roll your D100s and tell me if you get whatever degrees of success, and I'm going to see if any zombies get to dodge it.
All right, the first one's a success.
Okay.
And the second one will be in... Hang on. Oh, dang. Okay, can I use a luck roll?
Yes, you can.
To re-roll that?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
And it's just, you roll the whole dice, or what do you roll when you do that?
Yeah, you just re-roll the whole roll. Over again.
Okay.
Were you choosing a second target with that second shot, by the way, or the same target? I guess it depends on whether or not you kill one, right?
Yeah, is that one wounded? Like, bad?
So we'll see.
There's an arrow sticking in it?
Are you shooting at the one that has the arrow in it?
I mean...
Then you probably killed it.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. I'd do that.
The first shot hit, so You're fine.
Yeah, I'll shoot that one because that seems like it's low hanging fruit, and then I'll just shoot at another one then.
Okay.
Yep, they both hit. Okay, so in regards to rolling the luck roll, do I roll like I'm rolling with disadvantage again?
Yes.
Okay. All right, great. So yeah, both are hit. The second one is actually very good. It is. What's the first level of the first level is success, and then it goes
Great success.
great success. So yeah, that second one is a great success.
Okay, so the one of the second zombie got a success on the dodge, but that's not enough because you got a great success. All right, so you hit both. So for both zombies, first roll the damage on the one, which in your case is 1d6 plus 3.
Okay, so 9.
All right, so you kill that guy. So the one with the arrow in it gets the bullet from your shot, just blasts it apart, and it drops to the deck. And then the second one, roll your damage on that one.
Is unfortunately a 4. So on the
Okay.
other end of it.
So then you just sort of wound the second one. Let's see if... Oh, yeah, it's unlucky. You wound it in a leg, so it sort of drops and leans against the side of the deck. It's going to be moving real slow-like now as it tries to lean on the superstructure. It does, however, turn toward you. And so do a lot of the zombies because your gun just went off. Loud noises turning them toward your attention. Yeah. Shinobu, you're fighting these zombies. The guns just went off over there. You can see that some are going towards your friends.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do?
First off, I want a clarification on a couple of things.
Wait,
the
actually, hold on. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, ask your question. Sorry, go ahead.
Warcry and Anarchist.
Yep.
Advantage in all defensive actions when fighting 2+ within short range.
Yes.
And all enemies within short resolve against unnerve for the Warcry.
Yep.
Does that affect only living things, or would the zombies be affected by that?
So you're pretty sure that it wouldn't affect the zombies very much. Zombies are undead things and don't seem to be frightened by your Warcry. You've tried it before and it hasn't really worked. So this probably only works on other types of things that you deal with.
Okay. And the advantage on defensive actions when I'm defending?
Yep, totally.
Okay.
Still
so whenever I'm defending in combat 2-on-1,
whenever you're fighting multiple assailants in combat, you get advantage on those defensive actions.
Okay. And then the other thing is the flaming zombies. I'd like to try and drop one of those in the other alcohol. Any of the alcohol left on the deck.
Oh, you're trying to knock one into it?
Yeah, as I slice it, push it into that alcohol laying on the deck.
Okay. Well, you've had partially injured one that's right in front of you, and it's really the only one right in front of you. So if you want to make a brawl attack instead of a blades attack, you can kick it, and I'll be fine with that.
Okay. Take the pommel of the katana and just punch it in the face to knock it backwards into it.
Yep.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll brawl.
Which is the same. It's a 70.
Yeah, for your character, it's going to be pretty good.
That was 54, so that's not bad.
Okay. It rolled a 000, so it almost fell before you hit it. You hit it. Go ahead and just do... what would that be? Average. Yes, 2d4 damage.
2d4?
Yeah.
Okay. Three.
Okay. So it falls backwards into the alcohol. You are free if you want to make a movement action. Or you toward other zombies, toward your friends, back toward the ship.
Others were behind me, so I will back up at least till I'm shoulder to shoulder with was it Sam or was it who was behind me?
I'm behind you.
Brother Imperius and Skylar's technically on the same level as you, so backing up would go to Brother Imperius. And then Sin is back on the ship.
Whoever was behind me that had the 3 zombies go to them, I'm gonna
that's
go
Skylar.
shoulder.
That was Skylar, yeah.
Skylar,
Yeah.
Go back there shoulder to shoulder with him and try and parry one of them off.
Gotcha. You're gonna help Skylar fight off the zombies.
Yeah.
Clever. Okay.
See if.
Technically, I realized that I forgot to write down that you had used your thing, so you should have jumped down, but that's fine because it's gonna be Josiah or Brother Imperius and Skylar's turn anyway.
Okay.
So, Brother Imperius, it's your action, and then it's going to be Skylar's turn.
Okay, so before I go head out there, how crowded is this bridge? Because I want to make sure these two get back here.
So you're like Sin is off the bridge and on the other boat. So you're on the boat. So it's just you in this bridge.
Okay, so I can, but the bridge is enough that the three of us can back up together.
In a straight line, yes. You'd be worried more about like the weight bowing it down because Shinobu's a pretty big person.
Okay,
but otherwise you can get on it.
Okay. Well, am I close range to Skylar right now or not?
Yeah, we'll say you are.
Okay. In that case, I'll try. I don't know if I can do this. I'll try two things. One, I would like to give him my blessing.
Okay.
Once again, pull out the bottle, and then two, I would like to attempt to repair his armor if I can. I don't know if you're allowed to do that in combat.
In theory, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You can do both.
Well, I don't know. You've mentioned it before. I'm not sure how you do that.
Well, the repairing would be like a whole action trying to like repair the armor. So I would.
Oh, that'd be my whole turn.
Like your whole turn, right? Because it's two actions. You just sort of.
It's much better to make him immune to damage.
All right.
It's
so
much better to make him
blessing.
immune to damage.
Yeah.
No problem. That advantage is good.
Skylar, you are
I
now.
guess I will throw caution to the wind. Well, that's one complex action, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I will throw caution to the wind and shoot a zombie.
All right, why not? Skylar, you're immune to damage for this next action phase.
Good.
Yep.
Nope, I put a warning shot over his head.
Okay,
I'm
Sam.
not good with bullets.
Sam
guns.
Dakota, you noticed that the zombies were paying attention to you the moment that Sam fired the gun, but now another gun goes off, and some of those break and turn back toward the people headed toward the boat. Skylar, you felt some power move through you, some feeling of tingling, and now it is your action. What do you want to do?
I'm going to take out my tomahawk, and I'm going to...
You still have a flare in your hand that's going.
Oh, yeah. Well,
And the zombies in front of you are the ones that do have alcohol in them. Remember, you were lucky.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna try to light them on fire real quick.
Okay. You just sort of touch them.
Yeah.
It's not really a roll. You're just taking your time to touch them as one of your actions. You touch these guys, and after holding it for a moment, they go on fire. So go ahead and roll damage for me, which in this case is, well, it would be heavy damage automatically, and then you add +3, so 2d8 +7, please.
2d8 +7. Right. That's 16 damage.
Okay, they all die in this flamey burst that comes off of you. For everyone who sees this is not like a normal flame burst. Like, it's not just like a normal things at night. For some reason, when Skylar's at it, it's the perfect ignition. And it goes woof, and it's a big fireball. And these zombies just fall backwards dead, burning. And the other zombies behind them sort of step back in this flame that sort of goes off, giving them space. You are the firefighter, Skylar. The zombies don't know what to do. They back up a little bit, and then they all move together in a single sort of movement. It's almost like they're being controlled by something. And at that moment above you, Dakota and Sam, on the platform, a zombie appears and pokes its head out and seems to be talking, which is not normal at all. You're not zombie experts, but that is not normal behavior.
I don't like this
whatsoever. Skylar, you are actually at a point where you could see. Go ahead and make an academics roll again with advantage.
Academics. Okay. Intelligence.
Anyone else can make an academics roll if you want. You just don't have that advantage.
I got 19.
Okay, well, that's fine. Skylar, you know that there are such things as like zombie kings or queens. There seem to be, for whatever reason, every now and then a zombie seems to have more mental faculties than a lot of other zombies, and because the zombies have this sort of strange, almost telepathic connection when they get together in groups, whenever a zombie king or queen is involved, and this is clearly a queen, they seem to be even more coordinated. In fact, it's pretty much something that you've noticed that the queen is like a commander of the zombies. That's what you know. So, the zombie horde tries to figure out what to do. They move forward, but they don't move forward enough because there's a big flame on the deck. Begins the next action phase. So, -5 from everybody. The only people that can act this time are Sin, Dakota, and Sam. Sin, what do you do with your final action of this round?
Yeah, she's going to she's seen what the firefighter does, and she's just kind of doesn't want to be let up. She wants to prove to him that she can do the same thing. So she pulls out another Molotov cocktail and throws at a group of them. And that will be a 40.
Ooh.
And it will do max damage of 6 + 3 is 9.
Okay. All right then. So you hit, you said 6, so 6 of them get hit. A lot of them have been taking flame. So they all take that damage. They're not dead. They are definitely burning. They are on fire.
All right.
Dakota, you get to do things. What do you want to do? Kenya, did you hear me?
Somebody muted? Yeah, Dakota's muted.
Yeah.
Is there enough flaming zombies to ignite the other sitting alcohol on the deck?
Well, that's what we're going to get to at the end of the combat round, because then it will start the next combat round, which is when the ongoing damage would occur.
Oh, okay.
So I guess we'll hold Dakota for a moment.
No, I'm
there.
sorry.
Yeah.
I talk, but the thing is if I have my thing clicked over on my character sheet and I'm pushing the button in, it doesn't register.
I see.
So I talk, and then things
So
don't happen.
you were talking, we were talking over you, and you're like, "What the heck, guys?"
Okay, so where are we at? What am I doing?
It's the third action phase of the combat round. A bunch of zombies are on fire, and it is your action. And you're still in the ship.
And you're still muted.
So frustrating. Yes. So I would like to shoot at things again, and I'm still hidden from before because I did not get seen.
Correct.
So I will go ahead and do that.
Okay.
And hide again. That puts me at advantage.
Hiding? Yeah. Well, so when you're hiding, so you're gonna shoot, and then when you don't have to hide unless you get seen. So you don't have to make any stealth rolls until you get seen. But it doesn't give you advantage. It just makes it impossible for them to dodge. So you don't get to make dodge rolls when you're shooting at them, essentially. Does that make sense? So what you would do with your action, if you're trying to give yourself advantage, would be to take aim. You're still hidden, but take aim, and then shoot, and see what happens. Because aim would give you advantage. And you're still muted. So.
Do you hear me now?
Yes. Yes, now I hear.
Okay. I rolled. I got a 13 out of a 75, so I got an amazing success.
Yeah.
And that takes me, and I did, I should be good then, right?
Yeah, so you took aim first, yeah, and then you were doing were you doing another call shot head?
No.
No?
No, I didn't say that when I was
I didn't
talking
hear,
at
I
you
didn't
and you
hear anything,
couldn't.
so.
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right, so you just...
I didn't say it, so I'm good.
Okay. All right, so then the zombie did not dodge. You do your damage then, which in your case, because you bumped it up by 2, makes it... and let me double check real fast.
2d6 plus 3?
Yeah, 2d6 plus 3. Correct.
Okay. 2 and 1, so that's another 3, so another 6. 6
Okay.
damage.
6 damage. Do you want it to have been a flaming zombie? Or not?
Yes.
Okay, that kills it. Flaming zombie drops onto the deck. Going to Sam real fast, and then I'll tell you what happens when that happens. Sam, what do you want to do?
Okay, so you said there's one peering over above us?
Yep, directly above you, peering over the edge.
Yep, seeing that, I take aim, and I'm going to try to blow his head off.
Okay, so you can
One
take
shot.
aim. You're going to do a called shot to the head. Now, here's something to note. You're using a handgun, and they're at short range, so you already have advantage. So you have advantage twice, which is good because you're going to give yourself disadvantage for the called shot, leaving you with advantage. So you're going to roll with advantage and need to get a great success or better.
Okay, excellent. We'll see what happens. That is success.
Just a regular success?
There's a regular success.
Okay, that's fine. Zombie King tries to dodge. 33. See. I think I wrote it in the back, but I'm just going to look it up real fast. Oh, no, this is the right one. 33. That is just a regular success. You hit.
Okay, so damage, it's 1d6 plus 4 or 3?
1d6 plus 3, correct.
Okay. So 5 damage.
Okay, 5 damage to the zombie. Minus 5. All right. All right, so you hit the zombie queen that's bending over, causing her to sort of lilt back a little bit or tip back beyond the ledge, so not looking down at you because, that was a stupid thing to do. Meanwhile, the zombie that Dakota killed with the arrow drops onto the deck, hits the alcohol that's spilled there, lights it on fire. All of the zombies that are currently on fire, plus the ones that are now lit on fire, are going to take 1d6 damage. That kills a bunch of them because they had all taken a bunch of damage. A whole lot of them drop to the deck, burning. You guys, who are currently on the deck, are pretty safe. There's only like one left. However, it's obvious to you that there are more in the back pushing up and into or out through that door. You have a moment of safety, but the zombies are still coming from underneath. There's obviously a lot more under there than you thought. So, that ends the combat round, and we start the next combat round with Sin at the top.
Sin yells at everybody to get on their ship and let's get the heck out of Dodge.
Pretty wise thing to shout. Do you want to do anything else?
Nope, that's all she's gonna do right now. She just keeps yelling at them. Let's get out of here. We've got our supplies. Let's go.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of stuff. Didn't get the alcohol though. Dakota, what do you want to do? You're still hidden. Because you killed the one that saw you, or would have seen you. Killed it before it could see you.
That is very true. And the queen you said went away, right? She tipped back.
She ducked back, yep. So she doesn't have a chance to look at you right now.
Okay, so when he says that we're gonna, come on guys, let's get out of here, I'm gonna go over to the pulley system and I'm gonna look over at Sam and come on, old man, we gotta do this. Let's go. Let's get out of here. And like lower the boat the rest of the way down to the water.
Okay.
And kind of push off.
Sam, Dakota's lowering the boat. You can either help or you can just let her do it and then it'll like do that thing where one side starts going lower. It's up to you, Sam.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah, I do that. Holster the gun and put 2 hands to work on that pulley.
Yeah, and to be fair, Sam, like with your gun in the holster that you've got, you can draw it like pretty quickly. It's not even a deal to you. Like it holstered, not holstered, is basically the same situation for you.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah. Hand or not in your hand, that doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, so you start lowering the boat down. So you two are just going to lower the boat down the rest of the way. Shinobu, you heard, hey, get to the boat, let's get out of here. You can see that your friends are lowering the lifeboat. There is still one zombie on the deck. There's a zombie queen over there somewhere.
Somewhere.
And then...
So everybody... So everybody behind me is going back onto the other boat already?
No one behind you has made any actions yet.
I'm going to start backing up and going like, get back, guys. We're going down. Go.
Got it. But you're going to stay still on the deck so that you can defend people?
In front of them, but kind of pushing them backwards. Like,
gotcha.
Back it up, guys. If we can get onto the to the gangplank where I can only face one at a time, that would be a lot better, or one or two.
All right. Brother Imperious, you are being kind of shoved back by Shinobu, who is now like bumping his body against yours.
Yeah, if he's gonna, so is Skylar still in front of him?
Yeah, basically you're both getting shoved backwards. Skylar, you're getting shoved backwards too.
Okay.
Just so I understand the order, it's Shinobu, Skylar, me.
Basically.
Okay. Well,
a little bit of action. Skylar's not quite directly behind him because he was trying to do shoulder business, but yes.
Okay, I will. There are no zombies immediately there, so I'll take my action to get full actions to get back onto the boat. Then.
Okay. Yep. You get back onto the boat.
I won't spend time blessing. I will get back onto the boat.
Skylar, you're being shoved backwards. You still have a flare in your hand.
I just throw the flare and then get back onto the boat.
Okay. You just wildly throw the flare?
In the direction of the zombies.
Do you want to roll that, or you just want to let me tell you how it goes?
You tell me how it goes.
Okay. Wow, my friend. You did well by letting me do that. That's a 007. So that thing lands... was flying through the air. You guys see this flare flipping over, not being messed up by wind because flares can do that. Lands directly in the doorway, lights some of the alcohol that's there. There's a big whoosh as a big fireball. The one zombie that was still on the deck falls off the side dead, lands in the sand on the other side, just not moving. It's on fire. There's a big whoosh, gaining you guys some more time. Skylar, you're just going to rush back across the plank?
Yep.
As you throw that flare, there's that whoosh. You hear this sort of inhuman scream coming from inside the superstructure, as you know that you've killed some zombies, but you know what? That's what you do.
And I look back and I give the flaming door the middle finger.
and this is why a higher power keeps bringing him gasoline and flares.
Yep. Okay, so effectively the combat is over. Just one last thing, Dakota and Sam. Which one of you has the better luck?
I have a 50. I don't know what she has.
I have a 55.
Okay, Dakota, roll luck for me, real fast.
004.
All right, perfectly fine. You guys lower directly into the water, and you're able to release, and you just kind of drift right back to where your other boat is. You can take a you just grab it and lock on so you're not like stuck, or you could try to row, whatever. But you can easily catch the other boat and sort of lash yourself off so you don't drift away from the other boat. So at least you're within range. Cool. Shinobu, you're the last one across. How do you want to handle this whole gangplank thing?
Well, if are they off the length of it?
Yep, everyone's off. Just you.
And there's no zombies close by. I'm going to turn around, straight bolt down it, and when I'm done, I'm just going to push it away from the boat.
That's what I was thinking. You're just going to kick it off into the water and be like, "Screw you guys." Yep. Okay, cool. You brush it free. So, your captain rolls a 20 to power away. He manages to power away quite well and decently. So, you guys all escape from this boat of deadly zombie things with a whole lot of food and gear and gasoline. It was, in fact, a pirate's bounty for you. There are some things that you guys didn't do, but that's totally fine. So you lived through this situation, and today you have survived the maximum apocalypse. Cool.
With enough food to survive another day.
Yeah.
The last scene in my head is just sitting around the dinner table with Captain Quint, of course, discussing all the various scars we've had and where they come from.
Mm-hmm. So good job. If you guys wanted to keep track of this, just because, some of you might want to keep track of this, your character lived through the scenario, so you get 100 XP. You did not manage to escape without increasing the EAG because you guys turned on the machines and stuff. You didn't explore every room. You defeated... Okay. You got another 150 for defeating an entire horde of zombies. So you got 250 for this adventure of XP, which would come in later if you wanted to advance the characters at any point. I'm noting that for, I think, mostly Dean, who was talking about advancing characters and stuff in a different place with other friends. So But congratulations, everyone! You lived.
We got the whole party out alive.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
thanks,
have
man.
all of the components in all of the land.
Yeah, you did have one character who almost potentially got infected with the Z virus, which was just some bad luck. But fortunately, luck worked in his favor, and he used the luck use to not become infected with the zombie virus. But anyway, good job. So that's Maximum Apocalypse.
Yeah, thanks, Scott.
31
Really
food and 2 spices to turn other food into usable food. So between us, we got a couple of days food. We can survive for a few more days.
Right on.
I mean, and theoretically, with a good roll on my blessing and some communion juice, I could maybe even help with that infection if it had happened.
Surviving for a few more days is all you can ask for in the wasteland.
That's exactly right. Somebody was once trying to run this game when in the early days, and he was like, I guess he did an okay job. He was like, I guess I just don't understand like what the reward is for survival. I'm like, well, you get to play another game session. Like that's the survival. But yeah, then he realized
That's
that
the goal.
food and component pieces were essentially the same as like gold and stuff in other game systems. He's like, oh, I get it now.
Overall, I enjoyed it, Scott. I enjoyed it. The only thing, this is not really a criticism because it only adds the 5%, but I can see how that command can be overused quite a bit. I feel like that's well overused by a lot of people.
Yeah, it certainly is by people that are high charisma characters, but what its main purpose is to be able to make someone who's a talking character be useful in situations where they wouldn't normally be useful.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I say. I know it only gives you 5%, but I can see how it can be monotonous used in a game.
Well, actually, it could be 15%, I guess, based on your rules, right?
It could be up to. It could actually be up to 20% if you got a critical success on that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how your rules work. So.
Yeah. So it's 5 per degree of success. So if he had rolled like a 001 when he used a command, he would have given 20% to whomever he was commanding. But again, that just makes it so that he's helpful. He's got things he can do in a situation where he wouldn't normally. Like if he ran out of bullets, the only thing he could really do for you guys is give you commands, right?
Oh, certainly. If I had to like swim, climb, jump, any of those things that normal people do, I would be in trouble.
Yeah. That's where Shinobu comes in, being the huge samurai guy that just does all the physical stuff.
Oh yeah, you're like the guy in the what's that, Beyond Thunderdome that carries me around.
Exactly.
A master blaster situation, absolutely.
Except he has no ballistic skill and no missile archery. It's all up close and personal, which is fine. That's kind of how I wanted him.
Yeah, and I got to say, Scott, because the previous time I played with you, I played more melee-oriented character. I actually played a Shinobu-style character. Felt every bit as useful being the priest hanging out behind everyone and supporting them.
Nice.
Cool. That's good to hear. That's kind of one of my goals in making this game is to make sure that people who made non-standard characters who aren't fighting or like crafting types, might also be able to be effective in combat, or not just in combat, but in general, like in overall. So,
yeah, your mechanical guys and your medicine guys are just as valuable at different times. Especially if you get somebody infected with virus.
Yeah, a really good time too, Scott. When are you looking to drop the Kickstarter on this? When's that happening?
So the Kickstarter drops, well, in theory, it will drop on June 9th if everything goes as it can. The current viral situation of the world has thrown a monkey wrench in that a bit. We were discussing that, I think, before you came in. But otherwise, June 9th is our target date for the Kickstarter start, and then it goes until July 1st.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Everyone at home can see that the whole game session's been right there. So you guys can't see it, but people at home could see it. So.
Okay.
Great. Well, I had a really good time. Thank you again, sir.
Thanks again, Scott.
Enjoyed it. Good player cohesion. It all worked together.
Yeah, we had a good team. We had a good group.
Yeah, you guys
very good group.
Well. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, thanks for coming, and I'll shut this down. See everyone later. Some of you are going to be in the later game, so I'll see you then.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks again.
guys.
Take care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a
Stay
good one.
safe, everyone.